chapter 26-21. Even among Dao masters of the same realm, there is still a gap in strength. The Daozuan of the One Dao sect shouted in a low voice,
"Don't panic, the opponent's soul attack can't hurt you. Everyone, cheer up and fight back."
The Tianzuan endured the severe pain and fought back. Attacks blasted out from the warships, and the spirits of the hell area were blown away. However, to kill the evil spirits of hell, the attacks of the Tianzuan alone were far from enough. Only the three Daozuan could pose a threat to the evil spirits of hell. The red spider lily bloomed, shining with blue light, and the defense of the warship was immediately weakened by several times. Seeing this, the Daozuan and Tianzuan of the One Dao sect attacked more fiercely. Lin Moyu showed a hint of coldness.
"I'm afraid you won't take action. Now it's the appetizer. The main course is coming."
As soon as the skeleton hell started, it automatically completed the marking, making the next steps easy. As the Daozuan said, whether it was the Eye of Hell or the Curse of Time, the soul attack couldn't really kill the others. It just made these heavenly venerables feel severe pain. After all, Lin Moyu was only a low-level heavenly venerable, and the weakest opponent was a mid-level heavenly venerable. The next move was different. Lin Moyu had 3 more fish corpses in his hand. The fish corpses exuded the breath of the mid-level heavenly venerable realm and came from the special space of the Jiahai order. Origin-level magic. Corpse explosion. The 3 fish corpses turned into ashes at the same time, followed by 3 loud bangs. The explosions sounded simultaneously, and the 3 explosions could actually be regarded as one. In a warship, a mid-level Tianzuan was killed on the spot. He didn't even have time to scream and was blown into a blood mist in the sky. His soul scattered. The blood rain swept the interior of the warship with a terrifying impact, causing the warship to shake continuously and the formation to almost collapse. Several people around the Tianzuan were frightened at the same time, and they were covered with blood, turning into bloody people. They screamed in horror.
"What's going on? What happened? Why did it suddenly explode? What happened? The son of Taiyin is too scary. How could there be such a scary Tianzuan?"
Everyone showed panic. This time, even the Daozuan could not tell what kind of attack Lin Moyu used. Lin Moyu smiled.
"Can't figure it out? Then forget it."
He took out 3 fish corpses again. There were quite a few fish corpses at that time, but there were not many opportunities to use them later. Now he could finally make full use of them. The corpse explosion attack ignores all obstacles and time limits. Not to mention that they are right in front of them. Even if they hide at the ends of the earth, it will be useless. The fish corpse turned into ashes, accompanied by an explosion, and another mid-level Tianzuan was killed on the spot. The sky was full of blood rain, and the Tianzuan in the warship was completely panicked. A Daozuan shouted loudly,
"Don't panic, stay calm."
Huang Xing, behind Lin Moyu, suddenly took a step forward, rushed into the skeleton hell at the fastest speed, appeared in front of the warship, and raised his hand to slap it. The huge palm print fell all over the sky, and the defense on the warship was broken on the spot. The Daozuan on the warship snorted coldly.
"Calm down, form a formation, and fight back."
The dozen or so disciples of the One Dao sect on the warship were not weak, and they immediately formed a formation to fight back. The warship could not protect them, and if they wanted to survive, they had to rely on themselves. Someone took out the formation plate, activated it, and connected everyone together. These Tianzuan each took out a magic weapon and launched an attack on the spirits of the hell area. Avenues appeared one after another, and various attacks raged in the skeleton hell. Compared with the chaos-wrought worm, these Tianzuan were much more powerful and had many more means. But they were not very useful, and their fate was already doomed. The Tianzuan formed a battle formation to fight back, and the Daozuan also used his own means to attack Huang Xing fiercely. The Daozuan of the One Dao sect was very powerful, with Dao rhyme flowing all over his body. A great Dao lingered around him, and his body was integrated with the great Dao, making him unparalleled in combat power. He held a long spear in his hand, and each spear could create huge waves in the Hellfire River, making it difficult for the evil spirits of hell to get close. His attack made the skeleton hell vibrate and twist continuously. Huang Xing slapped out one palm after another, but in terms of combat power, Huang Xing was far inferior to the opponent. If he had not been in the skeleton hell, the opponent would have been affected by the skeleton hell, and Huang Xing would have retreated long ago, or even been killed at worst.
The Wendao sect is indeed a 7-star force. The same realm, the gap is so big.
Lin Moyu had always known that in the Daozuan realm, the strength of each realm is very different. But he never expected that the strength gap between the same Daozuan realm could be so big. Of course, this is also because Huang Xing did not have a powerful magic weapon, while the opponent had a Daozuan realm magic weapon long spear in his hand. Huang Xing barely entangled with the opponent, so that the skeleton hell would not be broken quickly. Seeing this, the Daozuan in the other two warships shouted angrily,
"Get out!"
They abandoned the warships at the same time and rushed out. The Daozuan opened the way, and the three teams quickly gathered together. The evil spirits of hell rushed over like a flood, and the flames of hell erupted violently to prevent them from joining. For a moment, the skeleton hell turned into a sea of fire.
It's good to get out.
Lin Moyu's heart moved, and two inconspicuous distortions appeared in the sea of fire. The cold light lit up, the sea of fire was cut open, and two space cracks appeared, intersecting in an X shape. A scream sounded, and a Daozuan's legs were suddenly cut off, and blood spurted out. The evil spirits of hell greedily devoured the blood, and the blood of the Daozuan was also a great tonic for them. The attack of the shadow mantis was silent and would only be noticed at the last moment. In addition to the concealment of the skeleton hell, the shadow mantis was even more powerful. Until his legs were cut off, the Daozuan didn't know what happened. Fear swept through his heart. He was just a low-level heavenly venerable. How could his methods be so terrifying? Another Daozuan heard the screams. The sea of fire blocked his vision, and he had no idea what was happening. He asked loudly,
"What happened?"
Before he finished asking, he screamed. The three-color phantom snake bit his leg hard. The poison was injected into it, and the Daozuan screamed,
"It's the 3-color phantom snake. I was poisoned by the 3-color phantom snake. How could there be a 3-color phantom snake here?"
There was a trace of despair in his voice. If you are poisoned by the 3-color phantom snake, you are dead in 9 out of 10 cases. The Daozuan with broken legs finally understood who attacked him. It was the shadow mantis that attacked him. He only realized that this terrible son of Taiyin could actually control the 3-color phantom snake and the shadow mantis.
Escape!
At this time, there was only one thought in his mind. Escape, but the first one to escape was not them, but the Daozuan holding a spear and fighting with Huang Xing. Among the three, he was the strongest and escaped the earliest. He fired several shots, repelling Huang Xing, and forcibly opened a passage for himself in the skeleton hell. Lin Moyu sneered.
"You want to escape? No way."
The star arrow lich appeared beside him. Magic. The great way of arrows. A great way suddenly appeared around the star arrow lich and merged with it. Magic. Sparkling arrow. The next second, the star arrow lich turned into a stream of light, like an arrow shooting out, and like a meteor falling to the ground, it arrived in an instant. Before he could fly far, he was pierced by the stream of light, and the whole person was ignited with raging flames and burned into charcoal. 2622 2622. ## chapter 2622. This time the son of Taiyin is unusual. The star arrow lich had integrated the complete sharp arrow, and its attributes had also changed. Star arrow lich. Realm. Daozuan first realm. Rank. Perfect. Growth limit. None. Spells. Star fire arrow. Arrow of the way. Star fire arrow * invoke the power of falling stars and the power of the flame avenue. Transform into Starfire, and shoot a fatal arrow. Arrow of the Way * invoke the arrow of the way. Use the power of the way to greatly enhance your own power. so that the power of Starfire Arrow increases by 100 times, and can shoot up to 3 arrows with a cooling time of 2 days and 4 hours. The Star Arrow Lich had reached the Dao Zun First Realm from the peak of the Heavenly Venerable. The two spells, Starfire Arrow and Arrow of the Way, had also seen significant changes. Starfire Arrow could now invoke the power of falling stars and the power of the Flame Avenue. Lin Moyu guessed that the power of falling stars should be related to the Star Lord, while the power of the Flame Avenue was self-explanatory. The Arrow of the Way was simpler, using the power of the avenue to increase its strength by 100 times. Previously, it could only shoot 1 arrow, but now it could shoot up to 3 arrows, each with a 100-fold increase in power, greatly enhancing its combat capabilities. Additionally, during the time of Taiyin, Lin Moyu, as the son of Taiyin, had all his abilities improved by 30%. This also included the Elemental Lich, whose basic strength increased by 30%, making it even more powerful after the enhancement. The first time the Star Arrow Lich went into battle, the effect was remarkable. After using the Great Way of Arrows, it directly killed a Dao Zun in an instant. The Star Arrow Lich returned to Lin Moyu, circling around him as if asking for praise. Lin Moyu gently patted its head.
Well done!
The Star Arrow Lich showed joy and flew more happily. The 2 remaining Dao Zun saw this and were terrified, their inner fear magnified infinitely. The one who died was the strongest among the 3 of them. Even the strongest was killed instantly. One had a broken leg, and the other was poisoned. Naturally, there was no way for them to survive.
We'll die together.
The 2 Dao Zun looked at each other, and with ruthless determination, they rushed towards Lin Moyu at the same time. The power of their whole bodies surged, becoming extremely chaotic and fierce. The terrifying power of Dao Zun swept out, and the evil spirits of hell could not get close at all. Lin Moyu raised his eyebrows.
Want to self-destruct?
The Star Arrow Lich turned into a sharp arrow again and shot out with the help of the Great Way of Arrows. The speed was so fast that even Dao Zun had no time to react. The Star Arrow Lich directly pierced the eyebrows of one Dao Zun, then turned in the air and passed through the back of the head of the other Dao Zun. The 2 Dao Zun stopped almost simultaneously, ignited by raging flames, and were burned to charcoal. The Star Arrow Lich was too fast, causing the 2 Dao Zun to die almost at the same time. When the Dao Zun died, the Taoist hearts of the Tianzuan of the Dao sect collapsed one by one, falling into despair. Even Dao Zun died so easily. What were they, the Tianzuan, worth?
If you often walk by the river, you will get your shoes wet.
One Dao sect has always acted in a domineering manner. In their own territory, they are not arrogant, but they are also very decisive. Although Hanshui Holy Land is domineering, at least it has strict rules, but the rules of One Dao sect are very flexible and can change at any time. I really don't know how such a sect can become a 7-star force. To ask for the way, to ask your own Dao heart, to do whatever you want, is this the Dao heart of One Dao sect? Lin Moyu recalled the style of the One Dao sect. As far as he knew, the people of the One Dao sect were not only overbearing but also unreasonable. If you offended them, you would often end up in a miserable situation. Unfortunately, the One Dao sect was too powerful, and those practitioners within its sphere of influence dared not speak out. Not to say that the One Dao sect was full of bad people, but if they lined up and killed every other one, there would basically be no injustice. Therefore, when Lin Moyu killed these One Dao sect disciples, he would not be soft-hearted at all, let alone feel guilty. Chasing him, that would be a way to death. At the One Dao sect headquarters, a mountain had fallen, but with Dao Zun there, it would only take a wave of his hand to wait for the luck to calm down and then rebuild it. The luck formation gradually recovered, and light spots appeared one by one. Among them, the light spot representing the son of Taiyin was still bright, with no signs of weakening. Wang Xianzong looked at the Qiun formation.
How are those people who chased after them?
Elder He, who was manipulating the formation, said in a deep voice,
They all died half an hour ago. A total of 3 Dao Zun realm elders and 58 Tianzuan realm disciples.
Wang Xianzong just nodded slightly and didn't seem to care about the dead people.
These people should be usually not very good. Yes, basically they are disciples who have exhausted their potential and have bad luck. The luck must be bad, otherwise there would not be a disaster this time.
Wang Xianzong said.
It seems that the rise of the son of Tyne this time is inevitable. We said that the Tao sect will not participate in this matter and withdraw the people.
Several elders frowned.
Master, then our people and the loss of luck, are we just going to let it go?
Wang Xianzong was silent for a moment and then slowly said,
Let's just leave it at that. The son of Tyne this time is unusual.
Although several elders had different opinions, since Wang Xianzong had made the decision, they did not dare to say more. In the Wendao sect, Wang Xianzong always had his way, but they felt a little strange. Why did the master, who was always domineering, react so abnormally today? Such a big loss. How could he endure it? Normally, a stronger team would be sent to kill the son of Tyne into pieces. Wang Xianzong did not care about their feelings but waved his hand.
You restore the sect to its original state, and the sect will go to the Supreme Elder to listen to his opinions.
When mentioning the Supreme Elder, several elders stood in awe, which showed how high the status of the Supreme Elder was in their minds. Lin Moyu reaped a lot again. The elders of the Wendao sect were all wealthy, and his own financial resources increased a bit. It's a pity that most of the Tianzun realm magic weapons were damaged in the battle, and many were eaten by the evil spirits of hell. There is only one magic weapon in the Daozun realm, which is the spear. However, the level of the spear was only the first level of Daozun, and Lin Moyu did not want to use it to summon elemental liches. The magic weapon of the first level of Daozun can only summon elemental liches of the peak Tianzun. Now, for him, the elemental liches of the Tianzun level are not enough, one more or one less. Lin Moyu shot out an immortal flame and resurrected the strongest Daozun. His combat power is very strong, much stronger than ordinary Daozun first level. It would be a pity if he was used as a material for corpse explosion. The corpse explosion only depends on the realm, not the combat power before death. There is no difference between him and ordinary Daozun first level. Lin Moyu looked at the Daozun of the Wendao sect kneeling on the ground and asked casually,
What's your name?
He lowered his head and knelt on the ground.
My name is Pajuan.
Pajuan. Lin Moyu glanced at the spear, and the word Pajuan was also engraved on the handle. I didn't expect it to be his name. Lin Moyu threw the spear back to him.
Get up, go to the rule world first, and tell the human emperor everything you know. Yes.
Lin Moyu took him back to the rule world and got a lot of information about the Wendao sect and the origin continent from him. The Feiyun boat set off again, continuing to head north along the central area. 2623 2623. ## chapter 2623. If I had known this, would I regret it? The people of the Wendao sect withdrew, and they did so in full view of the public. It seemed that the Wendao sect had given up its plan for the son of Tyne. Their actions attracted the attention of many people. Some speculated whether the Wendao sect had already found the son of Tyne. Others thought that the Wendao sect knew that the son of Tyne was no longer in this area and had gone to look for him elsewhere. The sudden action of the Wendao sect left many confused. They passed the news back to their family sects, but the reply they received was that the son of Tyne was still there, alive and well, and not dead. Therefore, most people thought that the son of Tyne had been obtained by the Wendao sect. If this was true, then they would not have another chance. The Wendao sect was not an ordinary sect but a top 7-star force. In the origin continent, there were only a few forces that could match it. Therefore, those who came to look for the son of Tyne also began to evacuate. In less than 2 days, most of the people in this wild land had left. The remaining people thought that the Wendao sect was deliberately playing tricks on them, tricking them into leaving. Maybe the son of Tyne was still here and had not been found. They were not willing to give up and continued to search. The Wendao sect did not say anything about this. If you love me, go find me. Jiang Ruoxue also left. She didn't know if Lin Moyu was safe now. She could only wish Lin Moyu good luck. After all, She was still hoping that Lin Moyu could get the inheritance of the Lord of Falling Stars and copy a part of it for herself. Lin Moyu had already left the place of right and wrong. He had a smooth journey in the Chaos Zone. In just a few days, he had already covered half the distance. The width of the Chaos Zone is about 10,000 kilometers, and the length is 10 million kilometers. It almost runs through the border between Hanshui Holy Land and Wundao Sect. The origin spirit veins of these two behemoths constantly collided within this range of 10 million kilometers, creating such a special area. In fact, there is not only one Chaos Zone on the origin continent but many. It is not only in Nanzhou but also in other continents. The equally matched origin spirit veins collided with each other, neither giving in. The protracted contest eventually formed a series of chaotic zones. The chaotic zones, like ribbons, divided the origin continent into many irregular areas, making it difficult to travel between each area. Fortunately, there are also weak points in the chaotic zones. Powerful people build cities, arrange teleportation arrays, and construct passages at these weak points. There are also powerful people who refine magic weapons that can travel back and forth between various chaotic zones. Just like between Hanshui Holy Land and Wundao Sect, there are several cities that can teleport to each other. The most famous of them are Yujin City and Daojin City. Yujin City belongs to Hanshui Holy Land, and Daojin City belongs to Wundao Sect. Originally, Lin Moyu wanted to leave Hanshui Holy Land directly and go to Wundao Sect's territory. Now that the incident of the son of Taiyin has happened, and he has killed many people from Wundao Sect, he must not go to Wundao Sect's territory. He and Gu Hanyu are now husband and wife, and the influence of Lian Lizi has led to their mutual affection. Now Lin Moyu would think of Gu Hanyu from time to time. In his subconscious, he really regarded Gu Hanyu as his wife. I think the feeling over there won't be too different. Yujin City, which was previously inaccessible, has now become safe. The changes in everything are indeed unexpected. Now Yujin City is only 1 million kilometers away from him, and he can reach it in a little over 2 days. Lin Moyu plans to go to Yujin City and then travel to a farther place through the Lufeng Chamber of Commerce in Yujin City. But Lin Moyu still had a doubt in his heart. He had eaten so many chaos-wrought worms all the way to the Skeleton Hell. Now that the Skeleton Hell was about to be promoted again and reach the intermediate Heavenly Venerable Realm, he had never encountered any chaos-wrought worms from the Taoist Venerable Realm. Except for the 2 brought by Jiang Ruoxue, he had never encountered any.
Where did the chaos-wrought worms from the Taoist Venerable Realm go?
The less he saw them, the more Lin Moyu felt worried. Especially if he could not see one for millions of kilometers, then it was a big deal. There must be something wrong when things are abnormal. Although chaos-wrought worms have no wisdom, they have instincts. The higher the realm, the stronger the power, and the stronger the instinct. There must be something that attracted the chaos-wrought worms from the Taoist Venerable Realm.
If those Taoists who came to find me knew that there were no chaos-wrought worms from the Taoist Venerable Realm in the Chaos Zone, I wonder if they would regret it.
Lin Moyu laughed in his heart. Those Daozuns were afraid of the chaos-wrought worms of Daozu Realm, so they didn't enter the Chaos Zone. If they had known this earlier, they would have come in to find him. By then, he could escape. He could resist 3 or 5 Daozuns, but not dozens or hundreds. The sun origin gradually emerged, the moon origin disappeared, and the moon talisman in Lin Moyu's eyebrow gradually faded. The sky got brighter, and the Chaos Zone also became brighter, and the color gradually disappeared. Huang Xing, who had been operating the Feiyun boat and never spoke, suddenly said,
Master, there are chaos-wrought worms of Daozu Realm ahead.
Hearing this, Lin Moyu was shocked. The eye of the dead opened and looked forward. 10,000 meters away, chaos-wrought worms of Daozu Realm did appear. Not just 1, but 6.
Stop!
The Feiyun boat stopped at Lin Moyu's command. At this time, it was still about 50,000 meters away from the chaos-wrought worms of Daozu Realm. Lin Moyu did not approach. He found that these chaotic wrought worms seemed to be heading in a certain direction, but for some reason, they flew crookedly, as if they were affected by some kind of power. That appearance was exactly the same as the situation of cultivators being affected by the power of chaos in the chaotic zone. The Eye of the Dead passed over the 6 chaos-wrought worms of the Dao Zun realm and wanted to see farther. But except for the chaotic power of the origin, nothing could be seen. In the chaotic zone, the effect of the Eye of the Dead was greatly suppressed, and only about 100,000 meters could be seen. Lin Moyu looked ahead.
Something in front affected them. Huan Xing, can you see it?
He had the Eye of the Dead, but in terms of vision, it was naturally not as good as Huang Xing of the Dao Zun realm. Huang Xing looked forward, and the power of the Dao Zun realm poured into his eyes. After a few seconds, he shook his head and said,
The power of chaos in front is very strong, and I can't see through it.
Lin Moyu murmured,
The abnormality of the power of chaos may be the reason why the chaos-wrought worms of the Dao Zun realm disappeared. Slowly approach and be ready to fight at any time.
Huang Xing nodded and flew over with the Feiyun boat. When there was still 20,000 meters away, the chaos-wrought worms found Lin Moyu. They did not turn around to attack but continued to move forward. Obviously, the things in front of them attracted them more. When there were still 10,000 meters away from the 6 chaos-wrought worms, Lin Moyu summoned the skeleton hell. The skeleton hell swallowed up the 6 chaos-wrought worms, and the evil spirits of hell rushed out frantically, biting them. Until this moment, the chaos-wrought worms began to fight back, but it was too late. 2624 2624. Hashtag chapter 2624. 84,325.3221 seconds. Lin Moyu found that the 6 chaos-wrought worms in front of him were not strong. They were weaker than the 2 chaos-wrought worms brought by Jiang Ruoxue, and much weaker. Chaos-wrought worms were not divided into several realms of Dao Zun. They were all collectively called Dao Zun realm. This division method was extremely rough, and because no one came into the chaos zone, and there was nothing worth exploring inside, no one cared. Just by comparing before and after, Lin Moyu realized that the same chaos-wrought worms, even if they were similar in size, had different strengths.
The 6 in front of me should be the weakest. And their previous movement trajectory was very strange. If we infer from this, the chaos power in front was very strong, and even the chaos-wrought worms were affected. What on earth attracted these chaos-wrought worms and made them rush over?
Skeleton Hell swallowed the 6 chaos-wrought worms, and it was one step closer to the next promotion. Skeleton Hell is like this. Every time you feel that you are about to be promoted, the result is always a little short. Over the years, Lin Moyu has long been accustomed to it. It is not enough now, and swallowing more is enough. Lin Moyu kept the Eye of the Dead open.
The Eye of the Dead is becoming more and more restricted, and it seems that the chaotic power ahead is also becoming more and more serious. Huan Xing, increase the power of the Feiyun boat to the strongest, and be alert at all times.
The Feiyun boat glowed with a faint light, resisting the power of chaos. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and he summoned Pejun as well. Huang Xing's strength was much worse than Pejun's, and with Pejun by his side, he was safer. Facing unusual situations, it's better to be careful. The power of chaos is invisible and intangible, and it is difficult to prevent. Dao Zun can only barely sense some of it, so it will be affected. But here, the chaos actually showed a trace. It is because it is too strong and powerful, so it can be seen by the naked eye. The light ball of the Feiyun boat was squeezed by the power of chaos and began to deform. Fortunately, Lin Moyu asked Huang Xing to increase the power of the Feiyun boat from the beginning, and it is not difficult to maintain stability at present. The line of sight was getting worse and worse, and the visible distance was shrinking. Lin Moyu knew that he absolutely could not leave the Feiyun boat now. Otherwise, he would not be able to grasp the direction at all and would only be carried around by the power of chaos, not knowing where to go. Huang Xing continuously injected his Dao power into the Feiyun boat to maintain its stability. In order to resist the power of chaos, Huang Xing consumed a lot of energy. Fortunately, he was a Dao Zun, and his power was endless. If it were a Tian Zun, it would probably not last long before being exhausted. The Feiyun boat was like a small boat in a storm, moving forward slowly and helplessly. The sense of distance was lost, and even Lin Moyu's spiritual sense did not know how far he had flown. Even the sense of direction was lost, and Lin Moyu did not know whether he was still flying in the central area or had been carried to another direction by the power of chaos. The light ball of the Feiyun boat was compressed to the extreme and became an ellipse. The entire Feiyun boat was shaking, as if it would collapse at any time. The loss of spiritual sense made Lin Moyu feel uneasy. Frowning,
Huan Xing, can't you retreat now? I have lost my direction.
Lin Moyu slapped his forehead. The resurrected have both advantages and disadvantages. Sometimes they are too rigid and not flexible enough. They have no fear, so they are not afraid of danger. Now, as long as I don't order them to retreat, they will not retreat until they die. At this point, I can only comfort myself.
Since we are here, we should make the best of it.
After flying for a while, the chaos became stronger. Through the protection of the Feiyun boat, Lin Moyu could feel the power of the chaos outside. Squeak! The ancient Feiyun boat made a squeezing sound. The protection had reached its limit, and the Feiyun boat was about to collapse. Lin Moyu made up his mind and made a decision.
Pejun, protect me.
At the command, Pejun released a powerful aura, opened his big hands, and protected Lin Moyu in the center. Lin Moyu collected Huang Xing and the Feiyun boat at the same time. In an instant, the majestic power of chaos swept over. The mind was in chaos, and even the soul was affected by the power of chaos, and the thoughts fell into a state of stagnation. The world tree swayed wildly, making a rustling sound. The 10-color dragon soul crystal spewed out a stream of dragon breath to help the soul stay awake. But by doing so, they could only keep the soul a little clear, far from thinking and controlling. Finally, the Calamity Scepter, which had not moved for a long time, seemed to feel the plight of its owner and shook with great pride. The soul gem revealed a touch of earthy yellow light, and the light flowed, and the earthy yellow armor on the surface of Lin Moyu's soul appeared, and the soul suddenly woke up. Lin Moyu came back to his senses and looked down at the Calamity Staff.
Thank you.
The Calamity Staff did not move. It was extremely arrogant and disdained to talk to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu looked at the yellow light on his soul body and found that this layer of earthy yellow armor was given to him by the Calamity Staff a long time ago. It's just that he never knew how to use it.
You have a treasure mountain but don't know it.
Lin Moyu smiled bitterly. The Calamity Staff was really arrogant and would not tell him at all. It seems that he still has to study it by himself. The soul returned to normal, but the body was still wrapped in the power of chaos and flew everywhere. Pejun protected him, and even if there was any danger, it was the first to bear it. With a Taoist escort, Lin Moyu felt much more at ease. Pejun could only protect him but could not control the direction. The power of chaos was too strong. Even Pejun could not resist it.
It feels like I'm in a whirlwind. I don't know where I'll be taken. Such a strong chaotic force, even the chaotic rotworms can resist it, and those chaotic rotworms that came in may also go there.
Lin Moyu believed that everything would have an end. No matter how chaotic the force was, it would not take him flying all the time. If he really keeps flying, he will eventually fly out just like throwing something. If he doesn't control it, he will be thrown away sooner or later. If there is an end, it's just a chaotic process, and he will eventually reach the end. The soul is clear, allowing Lin Moyu to think calmly. But soon Lin Moyu found that being able to calm down is not necessarily a good thing. Because he can think, time passes very slowly. If he can't think, it may pass by in a blink of an eye. Now he is like a vegetable, able to think but unable to move, but in pain.
Really, it's all his own fault. Curiosity kills the cat. I shouldn't have come.
Lin Moyu joked to himself, and now he could only have fun in the midst of suffering. The clear soul gave Lin Moyu a clear sense of time. Especially when the sense of direction is lost, the sense of time is particularly clear. Lin Moyu could even accurately measure time to 0.0001 seconds and could divide 1 second into 10,000 parts, and there would be no mistakes. After 84,325.3221 seconds, the situation changed. Lin Moyu felt like he had broken through a layer of membrane, and the chaos disappeared instantly. 2625, 2625, Chapter 2625. A natural formation. The world changed, and the space underwent a qualitative transformation. Lin Moyu didn't know where he was. He only knew that he had entered another space. Lin Moyu reacted quickly and gave Pajun an order the moment the change occurred. Pajun stopped instantly without even a 0.001 second gap before and after, which showed the strong control of a Daozun. Lin Moyu didn't move. He was under the protection of Pajun, observing the situation around him. His spiritual sense was gradually recovering, and he didn't want to move before it fully recovered. His spiritual sense was Lin Moyu's great reliance, and his extremely sharp spiritual sense had saved him from danger several times. There were colorful lights in this space, and the colors came from the chaotic power around him. The chaotic power was extremely powerful here, but it was absorbed by the edge of the space. As long as you left the edge, you would not be affected by the chaotic power. On the contrary, without the chaotic power, the space became extremely stable, even more stable than the space outside. After some observation, Lin Moyu determined that this space was circular. There were passages above and below him, and he didn't know where they led. Two skeleton generals flew out, one went up and the other went down. Lin Moyu himself remained motionless and said to Pajun,
"Take a look. Can you see any clues?"
Pajun obeyed the order and looked up and down. After a moment, he said,
"There's nothing wrong up there, but there seems to be an origin breath down below."
As his spiritual sense recovered, Lin Moyu also felt that there was indeed an origin breath coming from deep below the passage. Soon, the skeleton general flying upwards reached the top. There was nothing at the top, and it was dark. The eye of the dead saw that there were no living creatures, and there seemed to be no danger. Lin Moyu asked the skeleton general to stop there, and if there were any changes, he would be able to know as he went forward. The skeleton general at the top was about 100 million meters away from him. Then he released a large number of skeleton generals to fly upwards, placing one every 100 meters, so that he could know every clue in the passage. After he did all this, the skeleton general flying downwards also sent information. Lin Moyu connected to the vision of the skeleton general and saw a surprising scene. The skeleton general has the vision of the undead, and the picture he sees is different from that of ordinary naked eyes. In the vision of the undead, soul flames were burning, and the number was countless. Each soul flame represented a chaotic rot worm of the Daozun realm. And in the center of these soul flames, there seemed to be a more powerful and blazing soul flame. Lin Moyu couldn't see that soul flame very clearly because there were too many and too dense soul flames on the periphery, blocking his vision. Lin Moyu murmured to himself,
"It's about 500,000 meters away from me, and it's already deep underground. In the chaotic zone, most of the chaotic rot worms in the Daozun realm have gathered here. What are they doing?"
The spiritual sense finally recovered, and Lin Moyu also flew underground. Pajun followed silently, and Lin Moyu summoned the brocade lich at the same time to wrap himself. The star arrow lich was also summoned and sat on his shoulder. Regardless of whether it was useful or not, it is always right to be well prepared. During the descent, a skeleton general was still deployed every 100 meters. Lin Moyu was very careful. He had to be careful when he came here. Apart from other things, the countless chaotic rot worms below were enough to make him drink a void. Even if Tianlai Taoist used his last trump card, Lin Moyu was not sure that he could survive. Chaotic rot worms are unreasonable. They can continuously pollute the power of the origin, and they are not easy to kill. Even if it is a 6th or 7th realm of Daozun, if it continues to entangle, it will be worn to death.
If the skeleton hell can be promoted to the Daozun realm, there is no need to be afraid of them.
Lin Moyu knew that the skeleton hell was the real nemesis of the chaotic rot worms. In the same realm, no matter how many chaotic rot worms there were, they were just food for the skeleton hell. Lin Moyu finally reached the bottom and saw the situation at the bottom with his naked eyes. The bottom was a huge circular space with a diameter of more than 100,000 meters and a depth of more than 100,000 meters. It was like a sphere with a diameter of 100,000 meters, lying there. There were countless chaotic origin forces flowing around, and the origin forces were so rich that they had turned into substance, flowing down from all around, and then along the ground, converging towards the center. In the center of the space, countless chaotic rot worms in the Dao Zun realm were gathering together to form an unimaginable sphere. Lin Moyu's scalp was numb, and what he saw with his naked eyes was more shocking than what he saw with the eyes of the dead. It was unimaginable that if so many chaotic rot worms rushed towards him, he would probably be in trouble. Thinking of that scene, Lin Moyu's scalp also went numb. After all, the other party is in the Dao Zun realm, while his own undead army is only in the Tian Zun realm, and the gap is obvious. Lin Moyu's thoughts were like lightning, and he prepared for a rainy day. He soon thought of a way to deal with it. If these chaotic rot worms really rushed towards him, it seemed that there was no way to deal with them. Even if he was lucky, he could kill them. But that is the worst plan, and he will not do it if he can avoid it. There are too many chaotic rot worms, and it is impossible to see what is in the center. But there must be something in the center, and it is this thing that makes the chaotic rot worms gather here. The space is filled with the power of the origin, which is very stable and powerful. The edges are all the chaotic power of the origin, while the middle is the stable and extremely clear power of the origin. This form is what Lin Moyu is surprised about. Chaos and stability have reached a special balance. Boom! A sound like a heartbeat sounded, and Lin Moyu's heart couldn't help but jump heavily. At this moment, Lin Moyu felt that all the blood in his body was about to spurt out. The immortal golden body was automatically activated, and Lin Moyu instantly turned into a fire man, which made him feel a little better. Lin Moyu was shocked. This sound was not an ordinary sound. The sound went straight to the soul, and he could hear it even if he covered his ears. The sound could arouse his blood. If he did not have the immortal golden body, his physical body would have collapsed. The immortal golden body was shining and did not attract the attention of the chaotic rot worms. All the attention of the chaotic rot worms was in the center of the circle they surrounded. But Lin Moyu did not know what it was. Boom! Another heartbeat-like sound rang out. Lin Moyu's heart beat again, and the feeling from before came again. Fortunately, he was prepared this time. Although it was a little uncomfortable, he was not caught off guard. Suddenly, Lin Moyu found that the circle of chaotic rot worms had shrunk a little. It was only a little bit smaller, but Lin Moyu still caught it. The outer circle was reduced, indicating that there were fewer chaotic rot worms in the innermost part. If there were fewer chaotic rot worms, where would they go? There was only one answer. They were swallowed by the center. Suddenly, Lin Moyu saw that at the edge, at the junction of chaos and stability, there were lines like tree branches. These lines, glittering, existed at the junction. A large amount of chaotic origin power entered the lines, then turned into stable origin power and was spit out. The circular space, the edge of the area, was densely covered with countless lines. Looking from these lines to the center, Lin Moyu gradually saw some clues.
This is a large formation, a naturally formed one.
2626, 2626. ## chapter 2626. Entering the formation. Lin Moyu's current attainment in formations is not that strong, but it is not bad either. He can still tell whether a formation is acquired or naturally formed. The formation in front of him is hazy and illusory, and is a naturally formed formation. The roots of the formation are those branches of the original spiritual veins that look like tree branches and spider webs. Lin Moyu looked at this naturally formed formation as if he was appreciating a beautiful scenery.
It's so beautiful.
He couldn't help but sigh. The naturally formed formation was natural and had no traces of artificial carving. That kind of beauty was comparable to the acquired formation. The difference in the level of the formation lies in complexity, power, and effect. And the natural beauty has nothing to do with it. Lin Moyu admired this formation as if he was appreciating a beautiful work of art. He could see that this formation was not actually strong, and it should be less than the 7th level. He couldn't tell whether it was the 6th level or the 5th level for a while. His understanding of formations was still a little weak, and he was in the formation, but he could not feel the true effect of the formation. But this did not prevent him from appreciating and learning.
I didn't expect that the two origin spirit veins would constantly collide and confront each other, forming a chaotic zone. And in the deepest part of the origin spirit vein, such a natural formation was formed. The two origin spirit veins coexist harmoniously here, and different forces merge with each other.
Lin Moyu suddenly realized something, with a gleam in his eyes.
It turns out that in addition to colliding and confronting each other, the origin spirit veins can also merge with each other. Then if I merge the two origin spirit veins together, can it become a stronger origin spirit vein? Except for the origin spirit veins with special attributes like Lei Shan, most of the origin spirit veins themselves do not have specific attributes. Without specific attributes, it is not necessary to fight, and you can also choose to coexist or merge.
Lin Moyu felt that his idea was too bold. He looked at Pajun beside him.
Is there a precedent of the fusion of the origin spirit veins on the origin continent?
Lin Moyu didn't know much about the history of the origin continent. Pajun beside him must know a lot, so he asked if he didn't understand. Pajun thought for a few seconds and shook his head.
I don't remember it. The origin spirit veins can devour and resist, but they have never been fused.
Lin Moyu looked at the natural formation in front of him. In this formation, the two origin spirit veins did merge. Although it was just a trivial detail, less than 1/1000th of the entire origin spirit vein, fusion is fusion. From point to surface, from small to large, this formation clearly told him that the origin spirit veins can be fused with each other. Lin Moyu had an idea in his mind, to learn this formation and master this formation. As soon as this idea was born, it began to grow wildly, taking root quickly and could not be removed. At the same time, his spiritual sense sent a warning, telling Lin Moyu that this idea was very dangerous. If he wanted to learn the formation, in addition to external observation, he must enter the formation and understand the formation with his body. And it is not certain that he can understand it, and he may be trapped in the formation and die. Lin Moyu smiled casually.
Caution is a good thing, but it is also not a good thing. Caution can make people live longer, but they will lose many opportunities. Sometimes, appropriate impulse is not a bad thing.
Lin Moyu had decided to enter the formation and learn to master this great formation. Lin Moyu used the word
great
to describe this formation because in the history of the origin continent, no one has ever achieved the fusion of the origin spiritual vein. The appearance of this formation is unprecedented and naturally great. However, Lin Moyu did not act immediately. He was waiting for the Taiyin origin to appear. Now the Taiyin talisman on his forehead did not flicker, which meant that the sun origin controlled the world. He was the son of Taiyin. Naturally, he had to wait until the Taiyin origin appeared. His combat power and luck would rise to the extreme, and that was when he would enter the formation. He had an impulse, but he could not lose his composure. Lin Moyu was not in a hurry, but first observed the formation from the outside and wrote down every detail. The formation formed naturally is like a work of art, which is worth appreciating for a long time. Finally, the Taiyin talisman on his forehead appeared, and Lin Moyu called Xiaowu out. Xiaowu was playing with Xiaoye and was suddenly called out. There was a little confusion in her eyes.
Master, what's the matter?
Lin Moyu said.
Xiaowu, help me improve my luck.
Xiaowu said.
Oh?
And pointed her finger at Lin Moyu.
Good luck.
Lin Moyu felt his body lighten, and his own luck increased rapidly. There were dragon roars in his ears, and the luck in his eyes revealed a red glow, and he entered a state of great luck. After becoming the son of Taiyin, he already had great luck, and with Xiaowu's improvement, his luck was much stronger than before, to the point that he didn't even need the explosive luck technique. With such luck, the explosive luck technique was dispensable. After improving his luck, it could last for a while. Xiaowu looked at Lin Moyu eagerly.
Master, Xiaoya is still waiting for me.
Lin Moyu waved his hand.
Go.
After sending Xiaowu back, Lin Moyu said to Pejun,
Follow me into the formation.
Pejun naturally would not object and followed Lin Moyu into the formation. Inside and outside the formation are two worlds. Once he entered, Lin Moyu immediately felt the effect of the formation. Extreme balance and stability. He could feel that no matter how chaotic the source power outside the formation was, as long as it touched the formation, it would become stable. The chaotic source power would be sorted out by the formation, reversed, and turned into the most essential source power. Then, under the effect of the formation, the clean source power merged with each other. Lin Moyu was in the formation, feeling every bit of the formation. He walked around the edge of the formation, measuring the natural formation, and writing down all the details of the formation. If he sets up the formation in the future, although it is impossible to restore it 100%, at least it can be restored to more than 80%. Lin Moyu's talent for formations was working unconsciously, and he quickly absorbed and understood all the key points of the formations. If other formation masters knew this, they would be shocked and crazy. Natural formations are natural, and ordinary formation masters cannot perform analysis at all. Even formation masters can only marvel at some natural formations, and no one has ever thought about restoring natural formations. In the history of the origin continent, only some amazing people can restore some natural formations. Once an 8th level formation master said that the final destination of the formation is natural. Invisible and traceless, it is a work of nature. Lin Moyu seemed to have taken a big step towards the end of the formation unconsciously. I don't know if it's because of the formation or because of Lin Moyu's good luck. Lin Moyu walked the edge of the formation and was still not noticed by the chaos rot worms. After Lin Moyu wrote down most of the key points of the formation, he turned his head and looked at the center of the formation. After understanding the formation, Lin Moyu finally realized that there was another reason for the formation.
There is something in the center of the natural formation.
2627 2627. ## chapter 2627. Using yourself as bait. The formation must have a formation eye. Even a natural formation has a formation eye. Just like the natural formation in Thunder Mountain, which is extremely strong, its formation eye is the 8th level origin spiritual vein in Thunder Mountain. The natural formation in front of us also has a formation eye. And the formation eye is the key to this formation. Lin Moyu had now mastered the structure of the formation. The only thing missing was the formation eye. Staring at the center of the formation, the point wrapped by the chaos rot worms, Lin Moyu thought,
This formation eye must be unusual. I have a feeling that without this formation eye, this formation cannot be formed. If I want to truly master this formation, I must know what the formation eye is.
Lin Moyu felt that the formation eye of this formation should be very special. Without the formation eye, the formation cannot function, and it is even difficult to form. But now the formation eye is wrapped by chaos rot worms, and he can't see it clearly. When observing the formation before, there was a sound like a heartbeat from the formation eye from time to time. Every period, the circle of chaos rot worms would shrink a little. That means that the formation eye is swallowing chaos rot worms. So, as long as he waited patiently, sooner or later, all the chaos rot worms here would be swallowed, and then he could see what the formation eye is. But vaguely, Lin Moyu felt that he couldn't do this, and there might be danger when that time came. Lin Moyu walked around the formation twice again until the Taiyin origin retreated, and his fortune began to weaken. His spiritual sense suddenly sent a warning that danger was coming. Lin Moyu found that the chaos rot worms had noticed him.
Luck.
Lin Moyu realized that his luck had declined. The reason why those chaos rot worms didn't notice him before was not only because they were attracted by the formation eye, but also because his luck was strong enough. In other words, he was lucky. Now that the Taiyin origin had disappeared and his luck had declined, the chaos rot worms began to notice him. Lin Moyu didn't think twice and quickly flew out of the formation. Fortunately, this space was not too big, and he rushed out of the formation in a blink of an eye. Looking back, he found that the chaos rot worms had once again focused their attention on the formation eye and ignored him. They regarded this formation as their territory and would attack outsiders. And there were so many chaos rot worms that one move could affect the whole body. Lin Moyu narrowed his eyes and thought about countermeasures. He must see the eye of the formation. At this point, he must know what the eye of the formation is. Otherwise, all previous efforts will be in vain. But how to deal with so many chaos rot worms? Thinking of the experience just now, it can be regarded as a real experience of luck. The words,
"Luck is illusory, but it really exists,"
are really true. Luck is invisible and intangible, but it affects everyone all the time. Before, Gun Yanshui was cut off from his luck, which directly led to the inability to practice in the core area of Leishan and the inability to absorb any source of power. This inexplicable bad luck is affected by luck. Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
Water can carry a boat or overturn it. Luck can allow me to see the entire formation smoothly, and it can also do the opposite.
He already had an idea in his mind and immediately retreated 1,000 meters to leave space between himself and the formation. A skeleton god general flew out and entered the formation. Lin Moyu stared at the chaos rot worms in the formation without blinking. When the skeleton god general entered the formation, some chaos rot worms immediately noticed him. The chaos rot worms at the outermost edge looked at the skeleton god general and screamed, as if to warn him. But the skeleton god general was unmoved and instead moved a little closer to them. The next second, dozens of chaos rot worms flew towards the skeleton god general at the same time, spraying green mucus. Green mucus can pollute the original power and greatly weaken the combat power of the cultivator. At the same time, the green mucus is also corrosive, not only corroding the body but also corroding the soul. The skeleton god general is only a low-level Tianzuan and is at a complete disadvantage when facing the chaos rot worms of the Daozuan realm. It flew along the edge of the formation to dodge. Unfortunately, its speed is far less than that of the chaos rot worms and was unfortunately hit. In just one move, the skeleton god general's body was corroded and completely fell apart in just 1 second. The chaos rot worm's attack power is not strong, only for Daozuan. Facing the existence of a lower realm, their attack history is equally terrible. After the death of the skeleton god general, the chaos rot worms lost their target, and their attention was attracted to the formation eye again. When they were about to return, the skeleton god general who had just died suddenly resurrected on the spot. The chaos rot worms turned around again and continued to kill the general. The skeleton god continued to retreat, but unfortunately, under the attack of the chaos rot worms, he soon died again and then resurrected under the influence of the undead spirit. Time and time again, the chaos rot worms were getting farther and farther away from the formation, closer and closer to the edge of the formation, and closer to the skeleton god. After 4 consecutive times, the chaos rot worms had reached the edge of the formation, and the skeleton god resurrected for the 4th time and left the formation. The chaos rot worms stopped on the spot, staring at the skeleton god outside the formation, screaming several times, and turned back to the center of the formation at the same time, and did not continue to chase.
Failed.
After some efforts, they failed to lead these chaos rot worms outside the formation and kill them. The inside of the formation is the territory set up by the chaos rot worms instinctively. As long as they leave the formation, they will not continue to chase.
It's really just instinct. With such a strong sense of territory, it seems that we can only deal with them in the formation. But if we do this, the difficulty will increase a lot. It's a pity that they don't have corpses, otherwise it would be much easier.
Without corpses, we can't use corpse explosion to continuously bombard them. The chaos rot worms are composed of the source power of chaos. After death, they will also turn into source power and dissipate. Corpse explosion can't work. Lin Moyu remade a plan and then entered the formation again. When he entered the formation, many chaos rot worms noticed him. First, they screamed and warned. After the warning was ineffective, Some chaos rot worms on the outermost periphery immediately rush towards Lin Moyu. The space in the formation is too stable to use the power of time and space. Lin Moyu can only dodge. Unlike the skeleton god general, he has damage transfer. Even if he is occasionally hit by green slime, the damage will be much reduced, and then all members of the undead army will share the damage. Lin Moyu's survivability is almost top-notch in the Tianzuan realm. Even compared with some Daozun, it is not much inferior. In the repeated dodging, the chaos rot worms were getting closer and closer to Lin Moyu. It has been a long time since he used himself as bait. This feeling is like returning to the dungeon in the small world. He doesn't remember how many times he played the role of bait. Now thinking about it, he still feels a little bit reluctant. When the distance was only 1,000 meters, Lin Moyu finally took action. With a light tap of his fingers, the skeleton hell emerged and swallowed all the chaos rot worms flying over. The skeleton hell is the nemesis of the chaos rot worms. Although the realm is not as good as the chaos rot worms, as long as the number is not too large, it can still be swallowed. Dozens of chaos rot worms were swallowed by the skeleton hell, and a big battle broke out in the skeleton hell, which was much louder than before. At this moment, some chaos rot worms were attracted and killed Lin Moyu in the next breath. 2628, 2628, Chapter 2628. There is someone here. Lin Moyu frowned. He had expected this to happen, but he didn't anticipate the chaos rot worms to react so violently. The ideal scenario was to attract them in batches and use the skeleton hell to eliminate them gradually. This way, the skeleton hell could also consume enough chaos rot worms. If all the chaos rot worms here could be devoured, it would not be a problem to promote the skeleton hell to the intermediate heavenly venerable, or even the high heavenly venerable. Ideals are beautiful, but reality is often harsh. The previous batch of chaos rot worms had not been dealt with yet, and the next batch was already coming. The commotion caused by the skeleton hell attracted more chaos rot worms. This new batch had more than 100 worms. They split into two groups, one rushing towards the skeleton hell, and the other part attacking Lin Moyu. The skeleton hell was already fighting fiercely, and the arrival of the new batch made the internal battle even more intense. Lin Moyu quickly retreated, leading these chaos rot worms along the edge of the formation. Fortunately, the space here was stable, and there was no confusion in direction. The chaos rot worms kept spitting green mucus, and Lin Moyu was often hit by it. The damage was collectively borne by the undead legion, allowing him to hold on. There were now hundreds of chaos rot worms in the skeleton hell at the Daozun level. Although their number was less than 100,000th of the hell evil spirits, they were still Daozun. It took time to kill them. Lin Moyu calculated that with the current strength of the skeleton hell, the limit it could endure should be about 300 worms. It's not that there weren't enough hell evil spirits, but the accumulated power of the Daozun level could tear the skeleton hell apart. There is an essential difference between Daozun and Tianzun. If it weren't for natural restraint, the skeleton hell would have been torn to pieces long ago. The chaos rot worms in the skeleton hell screamed in waves, and the noise grew louder. The chaos rot worms chasing Lin Moyu also screamed similarly, summoning their companions. A large number of chaos rot worms turned around near the center of the formation. Lin Moyu's face changed suddenly.
Trouble!
Chaos rot worms have the characteristic of living in groups, and they can summon companions. Now, they were calling their companions. A large number of chaos rot worms were attracted by the call and set their sights on Lin Moyu and the skeleton hell. Then, like a swarm of bees, they pounced on Lin Moyu and the skeleton hell. This batch had nearly 1,000 chaos rot worms, much more than the previous two batches. If this batch rushed into the skeleton hell, it would inevitably collapse. Now Lin Moyu had two choices. One was to withdraw, making all previous efforts in vain and thinking of other ways. The other was to bite the bullet and start a big battle with the chaos rot worms in this formation. Lin Moyu had expected something similar to happen before, but the current situation was worse than he had anticipated. The third batch of chaos rot worms was too many, far exceeding his expectations.
In this case, let's fight. Let's see whether I retreat or exhaust you all to death.
Lin Moyu made up his mind and chose to fight hard. The undead army was dispatched, and in an instant the formation space was filled with the undead army. There were more than 100,000 skeleton god generals, and the dragon riders from number 1 to 10 were dispatched collectively. Facing the chaos-wrought worms of the Dao Zun realm, the skeleton god generals were the real cannon fodder. The dragon riders were a little better, but not much. Lin Moyu had never thought of letting the undead army eliminate the chaos-wrought worms. The gap between the realms of the two was too great, and it was unrealistic to do so. What he wanted was to use the instinctive characteristics of the chaos-wrought worms to delay time and buy enough time for the skeleton hell. As long as the undead army could delay it and the time was enough, the skeleton hell could devour all these chaos-wrought worms. Can it delay it? Definitely. The number of the undead army is so large that it is impossible to kill them all in 3 minutes. In addition, there are undead spirits, which means that the number will be multiplied many times. If they are well controlled, they can't be killed at all. Even if they are really killed, Lin Moyu can summon them at the same time. Lin Moyu said that he has never been afraid of a war of attrition. At this point, Lin Moyu had no choice.
I must know what the eye of the formation is.
As soon as the undead army appeared, the formation space was completely boiling. The chaos-wrought worms turned around and focused their attention on the undead army. The next moment, the chaos-wrought worms were completely enraged, and countless chaos-wrought worms rushed out and attacked the undead army. In their eyes, the undead army was an invader and must be eliminated. As soon as the two sides clashed, the undead army suffered a large number of casualties on the spot. The skeleton god generals fell like wheat, without any resistance. But the next moment, the skeleton god generals were resurrected and became cannon fodder again. The leaders of the Dragon Riders Corps from number 1 to number 10 continuously summoned Dragon Riders to participate in the battle, becoming cannon fodder that was more useful than the skeleton god generals. Lin Moyu retreated to the edge of the formation, looking at the formation space that had exploded, and also at the undead core that were constantly collapsing and dying. It was not the first time that the undead core was used as cannon fodder. If it was not necessary, Lin Moyu was unwilling to do so. The undead core were all his comrades in arms. Although he knew that they could be resurrected after death, he was always uncomfortable. Lin Moyu saw that the first batch of skeleton god generals had died several times, and he had an idea and put them all away. The skeleton god generals were no longer useful here. The significance of their existence was to let the leaders of the Dragon Riders Corps understand the rhythm of the battle. Now the skeleton god generals had retired after their success and handed the battlefield over to the Dragon Riders Corps. From number 1 to number 10 Dragon Riders Corps, with a total of 100 million Dragon Riders, were enough to deal with the situation. Under the control of the Corps leader, the Dragon Riders' cannon fodder status could be continuously cycled, taking advantage of the cooling time of the undead spirits, and in the end, there would not be any losses at all. The space in the formation was limited, and now it was almost full except for the center of the formation. Most of the space was occupied by the Dragon Riders. A large number of chaos-wrought worms were squeezed together with the center of the formation. The ones who could really play a role were the ones on the outside. The biggest weakness of chaos-wrought worms is that they have no wisdom. They have numbers but don't know how to use them. They don't know how to insert or charge, and their fighting methods are extremely rigid. Once they encounter the Dragon Riders, which have wisdom, are also amazing in number, and are not afraid of death in this small area, they immediately fall into a passive position.
No problem.
Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief. He knew that if nothing unexpected happened, the final winner of this battle must be himself. The skeleton hell finally devoured the first batch of chaos-wrought worms. Dozens of chaos-wrought worms were devoured, and the skeleton hell finally met the promotion conditions and began to promote. This time it was not a promotion to a higher realm, and the promotion was not due to the coverage range, and the number of evil spirits in hell did not change. The only change was the power. The hellish evil spirit had reached the middle level of heavenly venerable, and its power was stronger than before. As a result, the swallowing speed of the second batch of chaos-wrought worms immediately increased significantly.
Youngster, you are looking for death.
Suddenly, a roar resounded through the formation space. Lin Moyu was furious.
There is actually someone in there.
2629, 2629. Hashtag chapter 2629. I am never afraid of being outnumbered. Lin Moyu felt uneasy. He never expected that there was someone here. The voice was filled with anger and echoed in the formation space. Lin Moyu distinguished that the voice came from the center of the formation.
Is that person hiding in the center of the formation? Or is this formation controlled by him?
Lin Moyu thought about it and quickly denied the second possibility. This formation was formed naturally. A naturally formed formation cannot be easily controlled. If the other party could really control the formation, he could have completely prevented Lin Moyu from entering, let alone let him see the inside and outside of the formation. Then the biggest possibility is that the other party is hiding in the center of the formation. But why did it hide in the center of the formation? What is its purpose? Didn't it find me before, or did it think that I was no threat to it? But why did it come out again now? What did I do to anger it? Lin Moyu thought about it and immediately realized the reason. It was because the skeleton hell successfully swallowed the first batch of chaos rotworms. The skeleton hell became stronger, and the number of chaos rotworms decreased. He hid in the center of the formation. No matter what the reason was, one thing was certain. The chaos rotworms were useful to him, and he could get a lot of benefits from the chaos rotworms. Now that the chaos rotworms were devoured by him, the benefits he got would be reduced. And he had no intention of stopping, so he couldn't sit still. Lin Moyu couldn't figure out his true and false intentions for the time being and didn't know who he was or what realm he was in. But thinking that he could be in the center of the formation, it was estimated that his realm would not be too bad. At least he was a Taoist master, and he was also a Taoist master who was proficient in formations. Lin Moyu said loudly,
Senior, don't blame me. I didn't know you were in there.
After a few seconds, the voice sounded again.
Forget it. Ignorance is not a crime. I don't blame you. You should retreat now. Leave quickly.
Lin Moyu said,
Junior also wants to leave, but I accidentally entered this place. I have already looked for a way to leave before, but I didn't find a way out.
Before Lin Moyu entered the formation, he did look for a way to leave, but he didn't find a way out. The voice was silent for a few seconds.
Then you just wait. Wait until I finish my training, then I will send you away. Is he training here?
Lin Moyu was a little confused, feeling that what the senior said was not very credible. Lin Moyu asked,
How long will the senior train?
The voice continued,
About 500 years. 500 years is not long, just wait.
500 years is not long. No, 500 years is very long. For others, maybe 500 years is really not long. Tianzuan was in retreat and for 100 years passed. For Lin Moyu, 500 years can do a lot of things. It is impossible to waste it here. Lin Moyu shook his head and said,
Junior still has important things to do. 500 years is too long. Why don't you send me away first, and then you can train as you want? No, you can't leave before I finish my training.
The other party flatly refused, and his tone became much tougher. Lin Moyu silently used the Eye of the Dead to look at the center of the formation. Now the chaos rotworms were looser than before, and he could vaguely see the situation in the center of the formation. Sure enough, among the countless soul flames, he saw a soul flame that did not belong to the chaos rotworms. That was the soul flame of a cultivator. Although he had not seen the real body yet, Lin Moyu judged from the soul flame that the other party did not seem to be human. Lin Moyu said to Pajun,
Can you see the situation in the center of the formation?
Pajun looked carefully and spoke after a few breaths.
There are too many chaos rotworms, and I can't see clearly, but I can feel that there is a spirit beast in the eye of the formation.
It turned out to be a spirit beast. Pajun's words confirmed what the Eye of the Dead saw. It is indeed not a human, but a spirit beast.
In that case, then you don't have to be polite.
Lin Moyu's heart moved, and the skeleton hell accelerated its swallowing. In a blink of an eye, the second batch of Chaos Rot worms were swallowed up, and then the Dragon Rider's core revealed a gap and released a batch of Chaos Rot worms. The skeleton hell was like an open pocket, taking away the Chaos Rot worms, and a new round of swallowing began again. Under the control of the 10 Legion commanders, the Dragon Rider's core has laid an airtight defense line, and the cannon fodder takes turns to be cannon fodder. Anyway, they can't be killed.
Young man, you are looking for death.
The spirit beast in the center of the formation roared. Lin Moyu sneered and ignored him. Lin Moyu concluded that if the other party really had the ability, he would have killed him long ago. Obviously, the other party is unable to kill him, nor is he able to stop him, so the group will bluff and make a mystery. Boom! The heartbeat-like sound rang again, and Lin Moyu's heart couldn't help but beat. The blood in his body was flowing backward, as if it was about to explode. The immortal golden body turned Lin Moyu into a flame, and the flowing golden flame enveloped his whole body, calming his blood. Lin Moyu said,
It turns out that he has tried to kill me.
There was a heartbeat sound before, and it turned out that the other party had used his own methods to try to kill him, but he had never succeeded. This time the attack was more fierce than before, but he was still blocked by himself. Lin Moyu thought to himself,
What other methods do you have? Just come on.
He had made up his mind to get rid of these Chaos Rot worms and take a good look at the spirit beast hidden in the eye of the formation and the true situation of the eye of the formation. His heartbeats were getting more and more urgent, but Lin Moyu was as steady as a mountain and did not move at all. Lin Moyu could feel that the other party was getting more and more anxious and his killing intent was getting stronger. Unfortunately, the other party's methods seemed to be useless to him, so he could only be anxious. The Chaos Rot worms were being devoured in batches, and the speed was gradually increasing. The other party finally couldn't help it and burst into a roar. The roar was not like a human voice, but the voice of a spirit beast, sharp and piercing. The formation in the space suddenly lit up, and a large number of textures appeared on the edge of the formation. These textures were intertwined like spider webs, forming extremely complex formations.
He can actually control the formation. No, he can only control part of it.
Lin Moyu already understood this formation and immediately saw the clues. The formation lit up, and a large amount of original power gushed out from the formation lines. The originally stable space suddenly became less stable. The space belonging to the formation expanded rapidly, from a spherical space with a diameter of 100,000 meters to 1,000,000 meters. The formation space was expanded more than 100 times, and the Chaos Rot worms suddenly had enough space to move around. The tight defense line formed by the Dragon Riders suddenly had a lot of gaps. The Chaos Rot worms that were originally blocked inside exploded in an instant and rushed over from all directions.
Go to hell!
A vicious voice came from the center of the formation. Lin Moyu sneered repeatedly. He knew that the other party could not do anything to him, so he could only manipulate the formation, expand the space, and use the Chaos Rot worms to kill him.
It's not stupid, but it's a pity that there are more people than people, and I am never afraid.
2,632,630. ## chapter 2630. The third gem. Before entering the formation, seeing so many Chaos Rot worms, I did have a moment of scalp numbness. But it was only a moment, less than half a minute, and I had already thought of a way to deal with it. The first option is to fight in the passage, using the terrain to block the Chaos Rot worms with the momentum of one man holding the pass against 10,000, and slowly kill them. The second option is to enter the formation and surround the Chaos Rot worms, so that the undead core only needs to face a small number of Chaos Rot worms. This was the plan used before. The third option, which is also the worst option, is to fight hard. Now that the formation space has expanded more than 100 times, there are a lot of gaps in the encirclement of the Dragon Rider core, and the Chaos Rot worms that were originally tightly surrounded have found an opportunity. From the second option, it quickly evolved into the third option, and the melee kicked off. The Legion leaders reacted very quickly adjusted their tactics, formed a battle formation, and fought a big battle with the Chaos Rot worms. The number of Chaos Rot worms is extremely large, and their individual combat power is far greater than that of the Dragon Rider Corps. The Dragon Rider Corps is under great pressure. The Dragon Riders had their own way of communicating, and the newly appeared Legion commanders quickly understood the battle situation and knew how to fight. A large number of Dragon Riders appeared in the formation, still using cannon fodder to hold back the Chaos Rot Worms. From the overall situation, the Chaos Rot Worms had an absolute advantage, and the Dragon Riders kept dying. But the Dragon Riders seemed to die and resurrect again and again. The Legion commanders firmly controlled the rhythm of the battle. It seemed that the same Dragon Rider died, but in fact, a cycle had been formed. As long as this battle rhythm is maintained, the Dragon Riders will not die at all, and it will not be a problem to fight for a few more years. The Skeleton Hell continued to devour the Chaos Rot Worms. As long as there is enough time, the Skeleton Hell can still eat up the Chaos Rot Worms. Lin Moyu smiled.
Chaos Rot Worms are not as difficult as imagined.
The Chaos Rot Worm's ability to pollute the source of power is a very annoying and troublesome ability for other practitioners, but it has little effect on the undead army. The undead army's source is very strange and is not afraid of pollution. The only threat to the undead army is the corrosiveness of the attack. The gap in realms caused the undead army to be unable to withstand the attack of the Chaos Rot Worm. If it were the same realm, there would be no need to lead the Skeleton Hell. The undead army could tear the Chaos Rot Worm into pieces like cutting melons and vegetables. The Skeleton Hell is the nemesis of the Chaos Rot Worm, and the undead army is half of it. The spirit beast in the array seemed to realize this, and it was furious and screamed.
Boy, I'm going to kill you, kill you. Give me back my worms, give me back.
The more Chaos Rot Worms that were eaten, the greater the loss of the spirit beast in the array. It's a pity that it can't control the Chaos Rot Worm, and can only simply control the array. In addition to roaring in anger, it seems to really take Lin Moyu was helpless. Gradually, the spirit beast seemed to know that it was useless to call out, and gradually the sound became lighter. The Dragon Riders controlled the battle situation, gradually stretched the battle line, and surrounded it. The Skeleton Hell was constantly devouring the Chaos Rot Worms. The battle continued steadily, and the situation in the center of the formation began to gradually reveal itself. However, there were still a large number of Chaos Rot Worms near the center of the formation, and it was not clear for a while. Lin Moyu felt a little uneasy. The spirit beast in the center of the formation stopped calling out because the formation was in place. He didn't believe that the guy in the center of the formation would give up so easily. Perhaps he was preparing something. Lin Moyu whispered to Pejun.
Pejun, go to the center of the formation to see the situation.
Pejun took the order and rushed over with Pejun's gun. Pejun's combat power was extremely strong. When Pejun's gun was waved, a large number of Chaos Rot Worms were shaken away and killed into the center of the formation. After a while, Pejun came back from the center of the formation. His breath was a little chaotic and the source of power was polluted, and the amount of power decreased a lot. Lin Moyu looked at the battle situation in the formation.
How is it? What's going on inside?
Pejun waved his spear, and the whole body was full of strength, shaking off the polluted source of power.
The situation inside is a bit complicated.
Hearing Pejun's words, Lin Moyu became a little curious.
What do you mean?
Pejun seemed to pause. He seemed to be organizing his words.
There is a gem in the center of the formation. I don't know what that thing is. The spirit beast is on the gem.
Lin Moyu didn't find it strange.
Where is the complexity?
Pejun continued.
The spirit beast has no body, only a soul. Its soul is half inside the gem and half outside the gem. I judge that it controls the formation through this gem.
Lin Moyu muttered to himself with a thoughtful look in his eyes.
A gem that even you have never seen. Only a soul, half inside the gem and half outside the gem. The gem has become the eye of the formation, and the spirit beast controls the formation through the gem. This gem.
Lin Moyu's heart moved. With Pejun's knowledge and vision, there are really not many things he doesn't know. and it can become the eye of the natural formation, and even the natural formation is centered on it and formed because of it. This gem must be unusual. Lin Moyu took out the Calamity Scepter.
Can you describe the gem in the eye of the formation? What does it look like?
Pajun described it and outlined the specific appearance of the gem.
80% similar.
Lin Moyu suddenly felt an indescribable joy in his heart.
The third gem finally appeared.
The Calamity Scepter can be said to be one of his biggest trump cards. He has escaped death several times with the Calamity Scepter. Whether it was the soul attack in the Wankai Ancient Well or the soul dragon encountered in the Soul Void. If it weren't for the Calamity Scepter, he would have died long ago in the life and death crisis.
I must get it.
Lin Moyu's heart was extremely firm. No matter what the price, no matter how difficult it was, he had to get it. The 5 gems of the Calamity Scepter must be collected. He really wanted to see how powerful the Calamity Scepter would become after collecting all 5 gems. Suddenly, the formation began to vibrate. Lin Moyu felt the change of the formation.
Finally, it's here.
He knew that the guy in the center of the formation would not give up easily and would definitely fight again. The roar continued, and the chaos-wrought worms seemed to be summoned, giving up their goals and rushing to the center of the formation again. At the same time, powerful forces emerged from the surrounding spiritual veins and also gathered towards the center of the formation. The powerful force surged from the center of the formation, and the nearby undead army was all repelled and could not resist. Lin Moyu watched quietly.
Let's see what other means you have.
He knew that this should be the last resort of the spirit beast. As long as this wave wins, the ending will be determined. The power gathered in the center of the formation became stronger and stronger, and a huge spirit beast gradually appeared. Lin Moyu looked at the spirit beast and unconsciously said,
Stable and chaotic. It's really amazing.
2631, 2631. ## chapter 2631. I'll wear you out until you die. The transformed spirit beast looked like a giant mouse, with eyes flashing with brilliance, giving it a smart appearance. However, the aura it exuded was unsettling. It was filled with 2 extreme powers: extreme stability and extreme chaos. Stability and chaos should be antonyms, completely opposite in nature and incompatible with each other. But now, with the help of some magical power, they were almost perfectly combined. The huge body of the spirit beast occupied a large space. It looked down at the dragon riders with clear disdain in its eyes. Its aura was unimaginably strong. The power it exuded made it impossible for the dragon riders to get close. It did not need the power of the great Tao, nor did it need any fancy skills. This illusory spirit beast, composed of countless chaotic wrought worms, possessed a power that countless Tao masters could not reach. The path of spirit beasts is different from that of ordinary practitioners. They do not need to build a world of rules, improve their skills, comprehend the power of the great Tao, or even rely on the origin of spiritual veins. The 2 origins of the sun and the moon are their best food. Spirit beasts have their own path, which is comparable to that of practitioners. And the path of spirit beasts seems to be purer. This spirit beast in front of us exemplified this. No matter what method it used or what external force it borrowed, it had far exceeded the limit that the dragon riders could resist. Roar! The spirit beast opened its mouth and roared. It looked like a mouse, but its roar was like that of a tiger. The terrifying sound swept through the entire internal space of the formation, causing the dragon riders to burst one after another. Even several core commanders were no exception and collapsed on the spot. Just one roar killed hundreds of millions of dragon riders. When the strength difference reaches a certain level, numbers lose their meaning. No matter how many dragon riders there were, they couldn't fight against it. Fortunately, the undead spirits were still useful, and the collapsed dragon riders were quickly revived. Lin Moyu's face was gloomy.
What level has it reached?
Pajun was not very sure.
Maybe it has reached the 4th level of Daozun.
Lin Moyu's feelings were similar to Pajun's. In his perception, the illusory spirit beast in front of him was not much different from Lei Yiming. Lei Yiming, who was at the 4th level of Dao Zun, could mobilize the power of the Great Dao and form the true body of the Great Dao. And the spirit beast in front of him, using the power of the formation and the chaos rot worm, also achieved a similar effect. Roar! With another roar, the dragon riders collapsed again. But then, the cavalry corps was collectively revived under the effect of the undead spirits. It looked like it was unkillable. With a slight movement of his mind, Lin Moyu withdrew 20 of the 30 dragon rider corps. The dragon riders suddenly lost 2/3 of their number, and the formation space suddenly became loose. Lin Moyu knew that numbers were meaningless at this moment, but he couldn't throw them away. The dragon riders quickly retreated, gathered together, and set up a battle formation, leaving a large space for the spirit beast to move. Without knowing the characteristics of the spirit beast, Lin Moyu did not act rashly. At present, it is only known that it will use roars to attack, and it is not known what other means it has. What Lin Moyu wants is to know himself and the enemy, rather than to fight to the death. Roar! With the 3rd roar, the remaining 10 dragon riders collapsed again. Lin Moyu looked at the spirit beast. He could feel the anger of the spirit beast, but such an angry spirit beast did not rush over.
Can't move? Or disdain to move? Does it think that roaring alone is enough?
Lin Moyu thought in his heart. Both possibilities were possible, and from the spirit beast's eyes, he could feel its disdain. The spirit beast roared for the 4th time. The dragon riders collapsed as usual, but the spirit beast did not find that when the dragon riders were resurrected, they had changed people. Lin Moyu also used the circular method to constantly alternate the use of the dragon rider corps, allowing each dragon rider corps to share the burden. As long as the limit of the undead spirit's magic is not touched, the dragon rider corps will not suffer any real losses at all.
Pejun, go up and try to see if it will move.
Pejun's strength is trustworthy. Even if the opponent really reaches the 4th level of Dao Zun, it is impossible to kill Pejun in an instant. Pejun waved his spear and rushed towards the spirit beast. Pejun was as powerful as lightning, killing from the dragon rider corps and coming in front of the spirit beast. Pejun's spear stabbed out fiercely, and a huge spear shadow suddenly appeared in the formation, stabbing over. A road emerged, which belonged to Pejun. A powerful force erupted from the road, making Pejun's spear even more powerful. This spear was already the limit of Pejun's power, infinitely close to the 2nd level of Dao Zun. The spirit beast finally moved. It slowly raised its huge claws and collided with the spear shadow. Boom! The formation space twisted, and Pejun flew out with a loud bang, and his breath dropped sharply. His whole body strength was polluted, and the original power of the Dao Zun realm became extremely chaotic. Pejun kept getting rid of the polluted original power, and his breath became weaker and weaker.
Come back!
Hearing Lin Moyu's order, Pejun immediately retreated. He was a resurrected person, and he had long lost his fear. If Lin Moyu did not issue a new order, he would continue to fight the spirit beast until he died. Lin Moyu did not want Pejun to die in this battle. It was too pity to die here for no reason. Even if he died, he had to die with value. After returning, Pejun's breath was extremely weak, and he almost fell into the Dao Zun realm. Roar! The spirit beast roared again, and the huge power raged in the formation, and the dragon rider corps collapsed again. Lin Moyu looked at the spirit beast. Since it appeared, it has not moved.
No pursuit, and no other means. I understand. The reason why it can gather the power of the chaotic rot worms and make chaos and stability form a strange balance is that it relies on the array eye. To be precise, it relies on the power of the gemstone. The array eye cannot move, so it cannot move either. Just as it can only manipulate part of the array, the spiritual beast that it transforms into has very few means of attack. It can even be said that it is very passive.
In order to verify his idea, Lin Moyu's mind moved and he withdrew all the dragon rider corps. In an instant, there was nothing in the array. The spiritual beast's attention immediately fell on Lin Moyu, and he just stared at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu just stared at him, his eyes wide open. After a few seconds, Lin Moyu said,
"So you can't get out?"
The spiritual beast was not to be outdone, and its shrewd rat eyes were provocative.
"So what? You don't dare to come in either."
Lin Moyu smiled.
"So, since 1.0, I have been invincible."
The spirit beast sneered.
"That's not necessarily true. You have nowhere to escape now. When I absorb all the chaos rotworms, I can slowly deal with you."
Lin Moyu chuckled.
"Are you sure you can control the gem after absorbing the chaos rotworms?"
A trace of surprise flashed in the spirit beast's eyes, and it was obviously said by Lin Moyu, but it admitted very frankly,
"I may not be able to control the gem, but I can prevent you from leaving. You are just a celestial master, and you can live for 500,000 years at most. I can live for at least 3 million years, and I will exhaust you to death."
said the truth. Here, the great way is not obvious, and it is difficult for Lin Moyu to practice and improve his realm. In the end, his lifespan will naturally end. The spirit beast seemed to have eaten Lin Moyu with a sneer, but the next moment, its eyes suddenly widened, and Lin Moyu actually entered the formation. 2632 2632. Chapter 2632. Kill me if you want, don't humiliate me. Lin Moyu entered the formation and flew towards the spirit beast at a moderate speed. After being stunned for a second, the spirit beast laughed loudly.
"Are you in a hurry to reincarnate? You know you can't survive, so you just come to die, right?"
Lin Moyu smiled.
"Do you know what this is called?"
He pointed at his forehead, where the Tai-Yin talisman was shining. The outside world alternated between Yin and Yang, and the origin of Tai-Yin was hanging high in the air, covering the world. Under the faint light of the Tai-Yin talisman, even Lin Moyu exuded a strange temperament. The spirit beast obviously didn't recognize the Tai-Yin talisman. It was a spirit beast, without the inheritance of a cultivator, and didn't know many things. The space around Lin Moyu was distorted, and Xiao Wu appeared beside him. Then Xiao Wu pointed at Lin Moyu and disappeared again in an instant. The whole process was very fast and completed in less than a second. The spirit beast didn't react, and Xiao Wu was gone. The spirit beast felt that Lin Moyu seemed to have something more, but it didn't know what it was. Lin Moyu knew the answer from its eyes.
"See, you are just a spirit beast, and you don't understand many things. You only know how to do things by instinct. Maybe by chance, you have some intelligence, but your intelligence is limited."
The spirit beast seemed to be insulted and roared angrily.
"Who do you think you are? How many years have you lived, and you dare to speak nonsense to me? The years I have lived are longer than yours."
Lin Moyu chuckled.
"So what if you have lived longer? What you know is too limited. A single person, no matter how strong, their knowledge is limited. And we are a race. We can gather the knowledge of countless people, keep learning, and know more and more. Maybe your research of thousands or tens of thousands of years is not as good as our research of a few days, just like you don't understand what I did just now. Do you want to know what I did just now?"
The spirit beast was obviously angered by Lin Moyu.
"I don't want to know. I only know that you are dying."
Lin Moyu smiled and said,
"Why do you think I dare to come in? You don't really think I'm here to die."
The spirit beast looked disdainful and said,
"You can't have any trump cards."
During the conversation, Lin Moyu had already arrived in front of the spirit beast, and the two were only 1,000 meters apart. Perhaps because of his luck, the spirit beast didn't notice that Lin Moyu was so close to it. It didn't even use roars to attack Lin Moyu. At this moment, Lin Moyu was in great luck, thinking about getting as close to the spirit beast as possible, and the result was that his wish came true. 1,000 meters away is almost enough. Lin Moyu made a move at this moment. Origin-level magic. Time curse. In an instant, the magic triggered the law of time, turned into a curse, and fell on the head of the spirit beast. The spirit beast immediately screamed, and its soul felt like it was being cut by a knife. causing it great pain. No matter how strong its power is, its soul did not become stronger because of the formation. Although the time curse could not really hurt it, it could make it hurt a little, and even for a moment it could fall into a state of time chaos. Lin Moyu had been holding the Calamity Scepter in his hand. The star arrow lich on Lin Moyu's shoulder responded. A drop of ancestral water fell on it, and its breath increased sharply. It evolved into a sharp arrow and shot out. A line of fire appeared in the space, and the star fire arrow, carrying the power of falling stars and the power of the great Tao of flame, shot into the body of the spirit beast. The great Tao of arrows surrounded it, directly increasing its power by 100 times. This arrow was enough to kill most of the practitioners of the first realm of Dao Zun in seconds. Even the practitioners of the second realm of Dao Zun would be injured if they were not careful. The spirit beast had not recovered from the time curse and was injured again. The star arrow lich attacked not its body, nor the chaos wrought worm, but its soul. Half of its soul was in the gem, and half was outside, and it attacked the half outside. The star arrow lich was incredibly fast, far faster than lightning, and completed 3 round trips in an instant. The spirit beast was almost attacked 3 times at the same time. The soul was pierced and burned by the flames. For a while, the spirit beast was in unbearable pain and screamed. However, Lin Moyu knew that the star arrow lich alone was far from enough to kill it. At the same time as the star arrow lich took action, Lin Moyu also shot towards the spirit beast. When the spirit beast just screamed, he had already arrived in front of the spirit beast. The Calamity Scepter appeared in his hand and smashed it towards the spirit beast, whispering,
"This is my trump card."
Lin Moyu's trump card was the Calamity Scepter. The spirit beast used the gem in the eye of the formation to gather the power of the chaos-wrought worm, which made it so powerful. Stability and chaos gathered together, maintaining a strange balance. What Lin Moyu had to do was to break its balance. Just like breaking the formation, breaking the balance would completely destroy it. It was not easy to break the balance, and only the Calamity Scepter could do it. The spirit beast broke free from the severe pain, its eyes glowing red, and looked at Lin Moyu with great anger.
"Go to hell."
The huge claws were raised and slapped Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu did not dodge, swung the Calamity Scepter, and hit it hard on its claws. Unlike Pajun, who was not shaken away, Lin Moyu felt that he hit a piece of tofu because the Calamity Scepter smashed into it without any hindrance. The terrifying power that almost killed Pajun was actually useless when facing the Calamity Scepter. In front of the spirit beast's claws, Lin Moyu was like a human and an ant, extremely small. But just in such a small moment, the spirit beast's claws were shattered. Countless chaos-wrought worms exploded from the claws and scattered in all directions. The spirit beast's breath suddenly weakened, and it screamed in horror.
"This is impossible. What did you do? What kind of magic weapon is this?"
Lin Moyu sneered.
"Smash your magic weapon to death."
Without giving it a chance to speak, Lin Moyu rushed to it with the Calamity Scepter and smashed it on the head. The spirit beast screamed in fear, but it had no effect. The Calamity Scepter easily broke its balance, and in the blink of an eye, the spirit beast was smashed to pieces. The spirit beast that was not to be looked at before was now more fragile than tofu. The chaos-wrought worms were blown to the edge of the formation, and Lin Moyu's heart moved, and the Dragon Rider core appeared again, surrounding the chaos-wrought worms. The skeleton hell responded and entered the devouring rhythm again. In front of Lin Moyu was a gem that was less than the size of a fist. The gem was crystal clear, and it seemed nothing strange. The soul of a spirit beast that looked like a mouse. Half of its body was in the gem, and half of its body was outside the gem. It looked like it wanted to get in, but it couldn't. Lin Moyu looked at it with a smile on his face.
"Finally we meet. How should I address you?" "Senior Spiritual Beast."
The spirit beast looked at Lin Moyu in horror.
What do you want to do?"
It had completely lost its previous arrogance, and its eyes were full of fear. It knew very well that it would be easy for Lin Moyu to kill it now, and it couldn't escape at all. It was stuck here, unable to move forward or backward. Lin Moyu also discovered this.
So you are stuck here.
It seemed to have been hit at the most shameful point, screaming,
Kill me if you want, don't humiliate me.
2633 2633. Hashtag chapter 2633. I'm so unlucky to meet you. As a Taoist master, the spirit beast also had its own dignity. But now it had lost all its face in front of Lin Moyu, which was more painful than death. Its soul was stuck here, in a dilemma, and it had completely lost the ability to resist. Lin Moyu was not in a hurry.
Tell me, who are you?
The spirit beast snorted.
This time I lost. You can kill me, I have nothing to say. But don't try to humiliate me. No one in this world can humiliate me.
Even in this situation, it was still very arrogant. This kind of arrogance seemed to come from its bones, maybe it was forced. Lin Moyu held the calamity scepter, touched its soul lightly, and flicked its tail at the same time. It was like a hair-trigger explosion, screaming,
You are humiliating me. I will not let you go even if I become a ghost.
A wisp of flame appeared on Lin Moyu's fingertips, and the flame exuded a breath of destruction, which was terrifying. Lin Moyu did not want to kill it immediately, but he could not let it go easily. The world-burning fire can not only refine the world but also burn the soul. As long as it is properly controlled, the effect will be very good. The moment the spirit beast saw the world-burning fire, it screamed again.
Heavenly punishment fire. How can you have heavenly punishment fire? This is impossible. No one can control the heavenly punishment fire. This is not a fire that can be controlled by living beings.
In its screams, Lin Moyu threw a wisp of world-burning fire at it. In an instant, all its words were replaced by screams, and the flames burned on its soul, bringing unimaginable pain. In the burning flames, it couldn't say a word. If it hadn't been stuck in the gem, it might have rolled on the ground. At this moment, all dignity and pride disappeared. After burning for half a minute, Lin Moyu put away the world-burning fire.
Can you talk now?
The spirit beast looked at Lin Moyu with horror.
Who are you? Why can you control the destruction of the heavenly punishment?
Lin Moyu whispered.
Now I am asking you, not you asking me. Be obedient. I ask you to answer, otherwise you know the consequences.
At Lin Moyu's fingertips, the world-burning fire kept jumping. The spirit beast had to accept this fact with horror and temporarily put down its pride because Lin Moyu had the ability to make it want to live but not die. It didn't want to experience the pain just now again, and its tone became soft.
Okay, what do you want to ask?
Lin Moyu asked.
First, tell me your name, identity, and why you are here.
The spirit beast said.
My name is Xiao San. I belong to the heaven-swallowing rat clan. Back then, I was chased by a human Daozuan and came here by accident.
Lin Moyu could hear that it was not talking nonsense.
Xiao San. This name is a bit strange.
Xiao San shouted.
What's strange about it? I'm the third child in my family. What's wrong with calling me Xiao San?
Lin Moyu's eyes widened slightly.
You have a bad temper.
The world-burning fire jumped twice, and Xiao San lost his temper immediately.
No, I just said that my name was given by my mother. It's a normal name. Don't think about it wrongly.
Lin Moyu communicated with the human emperor at this time and asked about the information about the swallowing heaven rat. During this period of time, the human emperor has obtained a lot of data and established a huge database. Part of it is information about spiritual beasts. The human emperor immediately gave the answer, and the information of Sure Exine came over. The sky-swallowing rat is quite famous among the spirit beasts. It is a very special spirit beast. It is not strong in combat itself but has a very powerful talent. They can devour all kinds of original power between heaven and earth, not by refining and absorbing, but by swallowing directly. It is said that when they become powerful, they can even swallow the great Tao. In the history of the origin continent, There was once a sky-swallowing rat of the 7th realm of Daozun. At that time, the sky-swallowing rat encountered a Star Lord. After a great battle, the Star Lord was killed by the sky-swallowing rat, and even its star position was swallowed together. From then on, there was no inheritance of the Star Lord in the stars on the origin continent. Unfortunately, the sky-swallowing rat was later killed by another more powerful Daozun. Lin Moyu did not expect that this spirit beast with only a soul left was actually an extremely rare sky-swallowing rat. No wonder it is so arrogant. It does have the capital to be arrogant. Among all the spirit beasts, the sky-swallowing rat is also a rare species, and it is an extremely powerful one. After understanding the identity of the heaven-swallowing rat, Lin Moyu said,
"Then let's continue. You said that you came here by accident, which means that when you came here, this formation already existed."
The heaven-swallowing rat is much more honest now.
"Yes. How many years ago did you come here? How could you get into the gemstone?"
Xiao San said honestly,
"Almost 100,000 years ago. I can't remember the exact time, but it's probably about this time. I was chased by a lunatic in the 6th realm of Daozun. I was only in the 2nd realm of Daozun. In the end, I could only abandon my physical body and use magic. I didn't expect to come here. In order to escape the pursuit, I cut off all connections with my physical body. If I want to reshape my physical body, I need a lot of original power. It just so happened that I encountered this natural formation here and saw this gemstone. I wanted to swallow the gemstone, but I didn't swallow it, and it got stuck here."
This gemstone in front of me does look extraordinary, and it does contain amazing power inside. It is reasonable that the heaven-swallowing rat wanted to swallow it in desperation. But I didn't expect that I couldn't swallow the gem in the end, but got stuck here. Lin Moyu smiled.
"It doesn't look like you swallowed the gem. It looks more like the gem swallowed you."
Xiao Sen said,
"How could I know that this gem is so strange? We, the sky-swallowing rat, swallow everything, but we didn't know that we couldn't swallow this."
Lin Moyu asked.
"What happened later?"
Xiao Sen said,
"I was seriously injured at that time, and I had no choice but to sleep and recuperate. Almost 50,000 years ago, I woke up and tried my best but couldn't leave. So I started to study this formation. After many years of research, I finally got some clues. I found that using this gem, I can manipulate part of the formation, and the formation can summon chaos rot worms. Although I don't like these chaos rot worms, their power is too chaotic and too low level, but it's better than nothing. So I summoned some chaos rot worms in the Tianzun realm and tried to swallow their power. Later, I recovered a little bit and started to summon the chaos rot worms of Daozun realm. The chaos rot worms of Daozun realm are very difficult to swallow, and the speed of swallowing is very, very slow, and I don't want to cause too much noise, so I do it little by little and recover very slowly."
Lin Moyu laughed.
"Is your noise small? I have walked all the way, millions of miles, and I haven't encountered a chaos rot worm of Daozun realm." "You know nothing!"
Xiao Sen shouted instinctively, but was glared at by Lin Moyu, and under the threat of the world-burning fire, it quickly stopped and became honest.
"I didn't want to. I just summoned a little bit before, but then there was an operational error. The formation worked a little more, and then summoned all the chaos rot worms of Daozun realm within 5 million kilometers nearby.
It looked innocent.
But as long as I swallow them, I can fully recover. Not only can I reshape my body, but I also have the opportunity to swallow this stone in reverse. I didn't expect to meet you. I'm so unlucky."
2634 2634. Hashtag chapter 2634. Life or death, you decide. Xiao San recounted all his experiences over the years as if he were pouring out his grievances. His story was simple yet filled with bitterness. Being stuck here for 100,000 years, anyone would likely go mad. It was already remarkable that he could maintain his current state. Through his description, Lin Moyu finally learned who had been chasing him. It turned out to be the previous Holy Lord of Hanshui Holy Land, Gu Hanyu's mother. Xiao San escaped the pursuit of Gu Hanyu's mother, only to end up in Lin Moyu's hands. If he knew the truth, one wonders what he would think. Gu Hanyu's mother didn't want to kill him but intended to capture him and make him her spirit beast. The sky-swallowing rat has two special abilities. One is finding origin spirit veins. When the sky-swallowing rat is born, it lives by devouring origin spirit veins, giving it a strong sense of these veins. They can locate origin spirit veins within a certain range, using this ability to find more veins. Secondly, the sky-swallowing rat can refine origin spirit veins. The veins refined by the sky-swallowing rat are used by their race to feed the next generation. Practitioners can also use these refined veins to nourish other origin spirit veins, thereby improving their level. Because of this, the sky-swallowing rat is a rare treasure in the eyes of many powerful Daozuns, especially the leaders of sects, who all hope to obtain a sky-swallowing rat. Xiao San looked at Lin Moyu with a dead heart.
I've told you everything. Now you can give me a quick death.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Actually, I don't have to kill you.
The sky-swallowing rat snorted.
Do you still want to let me go?
Lin Moyu smiled.
I want you to be my spirit beast.
Xiao San was silent and did not speak. With his head stuck in the gem, his eyes passed through the transparent gem, and Lin Moyu could feel that his heart was very conflicted. Lin Moyu actually did not think that it could become his spirit beast. Before, it would rather die than become someone else's spirit beast. Not to mention that Lin Moyu was just a low-level heavenly venerable, so it should have refused directly. Lin Moyu actually had another condition, which was to first propose something that was impossible to agree to, and then propose something that was possible to agree to, which would be much easier. But Xiao San's reaction surprised Lin Moyu. It didn't refuse directly, which surprised Lin Moyu. In this case, Lin Moyu was not in a hurry and let it figure it out. Xiao San thought for a while and finally spoke again.
I can agree to become your spirit beast, and I can also help you find the origin spirit vein and refine the origin spirit vein. But I have a few requests you must agree to, otherwise, I would rather die than obey.
Xiao San said passionately, as if he was ready to die. But Lin Moyu heard a bit of timidity in its words. Lin Moyu could hear that it didn't want to die and was far from living enough. As a Daozun, it could still live for millions of years, and there was still a good life ahead. Lin Moyu didn't agree immediately.
You said it. As long as it doesn't violate my principles, I can agree to it.
Xiao San said.
First, you have to help me reshape my body. You should think about it carefully. It's not easy for me to restore my body.
Lin Moyu smiled.
If you become my spirit beast, I will naturally help you reshape your body.
Xiao San continued.
Secondly, I will only serve you for 10,000 years. After 10,000 years, if your performance does not satisfy me, I have the right to leave, and you must not stop me.
Lin Moyu still kept smiling.
That's no problem. 10,000 years is enough.
He knew what Xiao San meant. In fact, 10,000 years is to see if he has the potential for development. If he still doesn't make progress in 10,000 years, the arrogant sky-swallowing rat will naturally leave. After all, it is a Daozun and he is currently just a low-level Tianzun. Xiao San said,
The last request, if you find the origin spirit vein, you must give me a part.
This time Lin Moyu did not agree immediately but looked at Xiao San with a smile.
How much do you want to get?
Xiao San originally wanted to say 1/3, but he saw that Lin Moyu's eyes were a little dangerous, and then looked at the world-burning fire on his fingertips that had not been extinguished, and he swallowed his saliva.
3/5.
Lin Moyu shook his head slightly.
Too much.
At this moment, his smile seemed to become more dangerous. Xiao San's soul trembled slightly, and he choked.
3/3?
Lin Moyu said nothing but made the world-burning fire a little more vigorous. Xiao San immediately changed his words.
1/10, no less.
Lin Moyu sighed.
Forget it, you are too noble, I can't afford it.
The world-burning fire became stronger. Xiao San was frightened. and his whole soul almost peed, screaming quickly.
Then how much do you say?
Lin Moyu said,
There is no fixed share for you, it depends on your performance. If you perform well, I will give you more. If you don't perform well, you will get nothing. If you agree, agree. If you don't agree, forget it. I don't have to have you.
Xiao San wanted to offer a higher price so that Lin Moyu could bargain. He thought that Lin Moyu would at least give him 1%, if not at least 1,000th or 1/10,000th. Some origin spirit veins are very large, like those of the 7th and 8th order origin spirit veins, which are enough to support many sects. If he was given 1/10,000th, he would have eaten it up long ago. But who would have thought that Lin Moyu would directly refuse and let it depend on his performance? In other words, whether to give or not is entirely up to him. Xiao San looked at the approaching world-burning fire, and his heart was beating fast. He really didn't want to die. He still had a long life ahead of him, and he hadn't found a mother rat, and hadn't given birth to baby rats. He couldn't just die like this. Through the world-burning fire, Lin Moyu on the other side of the fire was so scary. That half-smiley look made his soul tremble. Lin Moyu kept a dangerous smile.
Don't waste time. I'll give you 3 seconds to think about it. Life or death, you decide.
He stretched out 3 fingers and started counting. With a tick, it became 2 fingers. Xiao San screamed.
Wait, stop. Let's discuss it again.
2 fingers became 1, and there was still 1 second. The world-burning fire became stronger and closer. Lin Moyu seemed not to hear Xiao San's cry, and ignored it at all. Finally, when the last finger was bent, Xiao San screamed wildly.
Stop, 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 I promise.
Lin Moyu put away his fingers and kept a devilish smile.
Look how good this is.
Xiao San sighed.
I am the fish at the mercy of others. You are such a terrible guy.
Lin Moyu didn't care about its words.
Hand over your true spirit, don't play tricks.
Xiao San was unwilling and had no choice but to split a trace of true spirit from his soul and let it fall into Lin Moyu's hands. The soul can be injured, but the true spirit cannot. The true spirit is the core part of the soul. As long as the true spirit is damaged, the soul will be completely annihilated. As long as you control this trace of true spirit, you can control Xiao San's life and death. 2635, 2635. Hashtag chapter 2635. Lin Moyu wants invincibility. Lin Moyu received the true spirit and looked at Xiao San with a smile.
Tell me, if I break my promise and don't let you go after 10,000 years, what can you do?
Xiao San's soul trembled for a moment, and he said cautiously,
You shouldn't.
Lin Moyu laughed.
Whether I will or not depends on your performance. If you perform well, maybe I will let you go in less than 10,000 years. Don't worry, I never break my promise. If you don't perform well, I will kill you directly. And you should call me master now, understand?
Xiao San was dejected and whispered,
Master.
It felt like it was dead, and its future life as a rat was bleak. Unexpectedly, being trapped here for so many years was just the beginning of the tragedy. Whatever it is that there will be blessings after surviving a great disaster, it is all fake and deceiving. Lin Moyu ignored its emotions and looked at the outside world. The war was still going on. The dragon riders held the chaos-wrought worms tightly, and the skeleton hell devoured the chaos-wrought worms bit by bit. The battle situation was very clear, and the balance of victory had completely tilted towards Lin Moyu. The commanders of the dragon riders were like skilled artists, commanding the battle. Lin Moyu discovered another advantage of the dragon riders, that is, the combat experience of the commanders can be learned from each other. The experience of the commanders is like sharing. Even if the commander has not experienced a major war, he can immediately become a strong and skilled commander as soon as he appears. Lin Moyu kept rotating the dragon riders. This was a good opportunity to train the troops. He let all 3,000 commanders take turns to play once, which is considered to be a way to let out some air and breathe. Since becoming the Heavenly Venerable, it has been a long time since I have had a decent battle, where I can go all out. Especially evenly matched battles, there are almost none. Every time I face an enemy, it is either too weak or too powerful. So powerful that my own undead core can't play any role. So this opportunity cannot be missed. Xiao San saw it, and it was increasingly unable to see through its new master.
Master. Master, are these all your puppets?
Lin Moyu didn't trust him completely yet, and smiled slightly.
What do you think?
Xiao San said.
I don't quite understand.
Lin Moyu said.
You will understand it later.
Xiao San said.
When does the master plan to rescue me?
Lin Moyu said slowly.
Wait a little longer. You have been stuck for so many years, so you don't need this little time.
Xiao San had no right to object now, so he could only wait honestly. Lin Moyu's attention gradually moved away from the battlefield and looked at the gem that was stuck on Xiao San. When he saw the gem for the first time before, he knew that this gem, like the soul gem and the elemental gem, was one of the 5 gems on the Calamity Scepter. As for how to take the gem away, Lin Moyu also had his own ideas, but it was not the right time yet. He would not take action until all the chaos rot worms were cleared. As for Xiao San, the sky-swallowing rat, there was a way to deal with it. At worst, he could kill it, keep some soul residue and make it a resurrection. Lin Moyu was confident in doing so whether Xiao San agreed or not actually had little impact. As the battle continued, the skeleton hell devoured more and more chaos rot worms, and its power was constantly increasing. After advancing to the heavenly venerable realm, the skeleton hell's improvement was too slow. Along the way, I don't know how many chaos rot worms of the heavenly venerable realm I devoured, and finally I devoured some chaos rot worms of the Taoist venerable realm before I was promoted to the intermediate heavenly venerable realm. Now I have swallowed at least 1,000 chaos rot worms of the Taoist venerable realm, and I have barely touched the threshold of the high-level heavenly venerable realm. Lin Moyu felt that even if he ate all the remaining chaos rot worms, it would be difficult to reach the Taoist venerable realm, and at best he would reach the peak heavenly venerable realm. There is a big hurdle between Tianzuan and Daozuan, which is very difficult to cross. Lin Moyu was not disappointed. It was very good that the skeleton hell could be promoted to the peak Tianzuan. With this magic that is completely separated from its own realm, he is completely invincible in the Tianzuan realm. This kind of invincibility is one-on-one invincibility. No matter how many Tianzuan you can kill them all. This is the invincibility I want. One-on-one invincibility is nothing. That is the invincibility of others. The invincibility I want is the invincibility that can ignore the number. Finally, after devouring more than 3,000 chaos rot worms in the Daozuan realm, the skeleton hell transformed again and successfully promoted to the high-level Tianzuan. All the evil spirits in hell were promoted to high-level Tianzuan, and their combat power was greatly improved again. After the promotion, the improvement speed of the skeleton hell also slowed down significantly. The improvement that each chaos rot worm can bring is negligible and almost negligible. Lin Moyu carefully felt the changes in the skeleton hell.
The marginal effect is becoming more and more obvious, and the effect of the chaos rot worm is getting worse and worse. The chaos rot worm itself is too weak. From the perspective of strength alone, it is far inferior to the cultivators and ordinary spirit beasts of the same realm.
After analysis, it is known that the reason for this is that the chaos rotworm is not a normal spirit beast, and it cannot be measured by the standards of spirit beasts and cultivators. So if the quality is not enough, it is made up by quantity. However, as the skeleton hell continues to grow stronger, in addition to quantity, there are also requirements for quality. Xiao San also noticed the changes in the skeleton hell.
Master, your magic is a bit scary.
Lin Moyu chuckled.
It's just an ordinary magic. What's so scary about it?
Xiao San didn't believe Lin Moyu's nonsense.
This is not an ordinary magic. I feel that with this magic you, the master, will be invincible in the Tianzuan realm.
Lin Moyu did not deny.
Almost, it's still a little short of the invincibility I want.
Xiao San kept muttering in his heart.
What do you mean almost? A low-level Tianzuan's magic can be invincible in the Tianzuan realm. This is too scary. By the way, there seems to be a Daozuan beside him. Is this the legendary human protector? What kind of master am I following?
Xiao San's inner drama is very rich. All kinds of thoughts popped up, guessing Lin Moyu's identity. The former arrogance seemed to be gradually lost at this moment. After the skeleton hell reached the high-level Tianzun realm, the swallowing speed was much faster, and the rate accelerated again. The remaining chaotic rot worms were quickly swallowed up in the next few days. The skeleton hell became stronger, surpassing the high-level Tianzun and reaching the peak Tianzun. Peak Heavenly Venerable is not a specific realm, but a term that refers to a realm that is beyond the high-level Heavenly Venerable but not yet the Tao Venerable realm. After devouring all the chaotic rot worms, Lin Moyu tried to promote the skeleton hell to the Tao Venerable realm. He took out an 8th-level exquisite origin crystal and threw it to the skeleton hell, but the skeleton hell vomited it out again. The skeleton hell could not absorb and digest the 8th-level exquisite origin crystal, which surprised Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu took out another 5th-level world-class origin crystal, but the skeleton hell still didn't want it. Lin Moyu asked,
Xiao San, do you know why?
Xiao San shook his head, not very clear. Lin Moyu asked Pajun and Huang Xing again, but still didn't get an answer. In desperation, he could only put the problem aside and wait for a chance to study it in the future. Putting away the skeleton hell, Lin Moyu finally looked at the gem again. 2636, 2636. Hashtag chapter 2636. Work hard, or I'll kill you. Xiao San was a little excited, even thrilled. It had been stuck here for 100,000 years and had tried every possible way to get out of this trap. Now it was finally going to be free. The excitement made its whole soul tremble. It had never doubted Lin Moyu's means. This master of its own was too magical, the kind of magic that could not be described at all. Since he said he could save it, he would definitely do it. Under Xiao San's watchful eyes, Lin Moyu took out the Calamity Scepter again. Xiao San recognized the Calamity Scepter the first time he saw it.
It was this thing that smashed the spirit beast I evolved like tofu. What kind of magic weapon is this? How can it be so powerful?
Then it took a second look, and it finally saw clearly that there were 2 gems inlaid on the Calamity Scepter. One gem was khaki and looked very inconspicuous. The other seemed to have infinite colors, and all the colors in the world could be found on it. The gem that stuck itself was very similar to the gem on the scepter.
What on earth is this thing? There seem to be a few empty spaces on it. Could it be that the gem that stuck me is actually supposed to be on it? This seems to be not only a magic weapon of the Daozuan realm, but also not a magic weapon of the Tianzuan realm. What level of magic weapon is it? Is it the kind of magic weapon in the legend?
Xiao San's thoughts were churning for a while, and he began to think wildly again. Lin Moyu ignored its thoughts and directly touched the gem with the Calamity Scepter. At the moment of contact, the Calamity Scepter vibrated slightly, and a powerful force was born, enveloping the gem. The transparent gem that had been used as the eye of the formation for countless years and had never moved suddenly merged with the Calamity Scepter like flowing water. With a light bang, something flew out of the gem, like some useless impurity garbage being ruthlessly abandoned. Xiao San was blown away by an extremely strong force, flying around in the formation like a balloon. The transparent gem appeared on the Calamity Scepter, forming a triangle with the Soul Gem and the Elemental Gem. At the same time, a message was transmitted, letting Lin Moyu know its name.
Balanced gem. In front of it, everything will be balanced, and any chaos will be wiped out.
Lin Moyu muttered to himself. It turned out to be a gem with the power of balance. Lin Moyu looked at the Calamity Scepter. The gem seemed so harmonious in the Calamity Scepter, as if it was supposed to be there. After the balanced gem returned to the Calamity Scepter, there was no movement. 3 of the 5 gems have been found, but the Calamity Scepter still has no effect, as if it is still sleeping. Lin Moyu was helpless about this and could only use the Calamity Scepter as the strongest weapon. Lin Moyu was too lazy to study it. For so many years, he didn't know how many times he had studied the Calamity Scepter, but to no avail. Among them, except for the soul gem, which occasionally played a little role, the elemental gem was completely useless, and this time the balance gem seemed to be the same. However, when the spirit of the long river of time appeared last time, he scared it away with the Calamity Scepter. It is estimated that the other party will know the information about the Calamity Scepter. If there is a chance in the future, I can ask. Lin Moyu waved the Calamity Scepter twice casually and then put it away. Xiao San finally managed to stabilize his body and slowly flew to Lin Moyu's side, saying excitedly,
"Thank you, Master."
This thank you was sincere. It was stuck in the balance gem for a full 100,000 years. Only those who experienced it could understand the pain. Lin Moyu nodded.
"It's good that you're out. I'll help you recover your body now."
Xiao San was surprised.
"Now? Don't you need to make any preparations?"
Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
"What preparations are needed? Now, but I'll trouble you to sleep for a while."
Xiao San seemed to realize something.
"I understand."
Then its soul shook, its soul power surged, and then its head became dizzy and it fell into a coma. Lin Moyu laughed dumbly.
"You are so straightforward."
Xiao San's soul body was only the size of a fist. Lin Moyu held it in his hand, and at the same time, a spiritual flower flew out and wrapped it. Losing the body can also be regarded as a kind of injury. Since it is an injury, the spiritual flower should be able to heal it. Lin Moyu's idea is very simple, without so many complicated processes. One spiritual flower, done. If one is not enough, then two. Since I promised Xiao San, I will definitely help it reshape its body. Wrapped in the spiritual flower, Xiao San's breath gradually strengthened. Before, the soul was more or less injured, and now it has been healed by the spiritual flower. After the soul was fully recovered, the spiritual flower began to reshape its body. The spiritual flower itself contains powerful power. Based on Xiao San's own soul, the flesh and blood began to regenerate. The regeneration speed is not as fast as the resurrection of the dead, but fortunately, it is not too slow.
At this speed, it will be completely restored in about 2 days. One spiritual flower, it seems that it is really not enough. It's a huge investment. Work hard in the future, or I will kill you.
Xiao San did not say anything nonsense. It takes a huge amount of power to restore its body, and one spiritual flower is really not enough. After investing a lot of money, you must make it back in the future. Lin Moyu said that he would not do a loss-making business. The space suddenly vibrated, and the natural formation began to collapse after losing the formation eye. Lin Moyu knew very well that the balance gem was the core of the formation. It can be said that the entire formation evolved with the balance gem as the core. It was the balance gem that first appeared, and then the corresponding formation evolved here. It is precisely because of the balance gem that the original power here can maintain absolute balance. Now, without the balance gem, the formation will naturally collapse, and this place will return to chaos like other places in the chaos zone. The formation collapsed, and the space also collapsed rapidly. Lin Moyu was not panicked. With his current strength, what happened in front of him was just child's play. The power of the formation swept over him, and the immortal golden body flashed with flowing flames, allowing Lin Moyu to block all the impacts. Even the little 3 in his hand was not affected. After the formation collapsed, the power of chaos occupied the world again. The huge power of chaos turned into a tornado and swept Lin Moyu away. How to come in, how to leave. Lin Moyu was not panicked at all, flying with the power of chaos like catkins. After flying for half a day, Lin Moyu felt that he was suddenly thrown out, and the chaos around him quickly subsided. Although the power of chaos still exists, it is no longer strong. Wherever he looked, it was a familiar scene, and he was still in the chaos zone. The origin of the sun hung high in the sky, sprinkling the scorching origin of the calendar. After adapting for a few minutes, he called Huang Xing out again, took out the Feiyun boat, and let Huang Xing be the boatman again. Feiyun boat turned into a stream of light and flew towards the north. This trip was extremely rewarding. He got a Taoist-level sky-swallowing rat spirit beast and found the 3rd gem of the Calamity Scepter. For Lin Moyu, it was better than finding an origin spirit vein.
Luck, it's really magical.
2637 2637. Hashtag chapter 2637. Jade Sword City, Dao Sword City. From his own experience, Lin Moyu had to marvel at the magic of luck. No wonder all forces pursue luck. When luck is strong, many magical things can happen. Once luck declines, all kinds of bad luck will come one after another. Opportunities will vanish, and even life cannot be saved. This shows how vicious the bad luck formation that the Taoist sect used on him before was. They just wanted to kill him by someone else's hand, without being directly involved in cause and effect. Lin Moyu even thought that if his luck was not strong enough, he would not have met Xiao San, let alone obtained the third gem of the Calamity Scepter. Even upgrading the skeleton hell would have been difficult. Everything seems to be affected by luck.
It seems that Xiao Wu's ability can be further explored. If Xiao Wu can become a Taoist master, her ability will be stronger. At that time, even without a high-level origin spirit vein, Xiao Wu alone can suppress the luck. It seems that I need to urge her to practice more. The little guy is too lazy.
Lin Moyu thought about it and planned to start with Xiaoya. It's not that he didn't urge her before, but the effect was average. Xiaoyuan preferred to play more than to practice. One day later, Faiyanzu flew out of the chaotic land, and from a distance, a magnificent city came into view. There was a sword in the city 100,000 meters high, reaching into the sky, standing tall. The sword was made from an unknown mountain. A great man made 2 such swords in total, placing them on both sides of the chaotic zone. The 2 swords were separated by tens of thousands of kilometers, echoing each other from a distance, and the sword energy between them was constantly connected, forming a passage. Later generations built cities with the 2 swords as the center, forming the current Jade Sword City and Dao Sword City. Jade Sword City belongs to the Hanshui Holy Land, and Dao Sword City belongs to the One Dao sect. The 2 swords have been standing here for countless years, with a history longer than that of the Hanshui Holy Land and the One Dao sect. During this period, countless wars broke out in Hanshui Holy Land and One Dao sect. Hanshui Holy Land and One Dao sect also fought many wars, eventually becoming powerful forces that controlled the world. Later, a war broke out between Hanshui Holy Land and One Dao sect. But whether it was an internal war or an external war, the 2 swords stood firm. Everyone knew that these 2 swords were very powerful magic weapons, and no one dared to take advantage of them. Some said that it was because no one wanted to offend the great man. Others said that the 2 swords were too powerful, and all those who had their eyes on them died. No matter the reason, the 2 swords had been there for countless years, and the 2 cities were becoming more and more prosperous, already among the best cities on the origin continent. Countless practitioners always came to admire the great man's handiwork. Lin Moyu looked at Jade Sword City from a distance and could feel the oppression brought by the Jade Sword from afar. On the sword body there was a huge
Jade
character engraved. The name of Jade Sword City was not taken from the Hanshui Holy Land but named after this sword. The sword of Dao Sword City had a
Dao
character engraved on the sword body, and Dao Sword City also derived its name from this. Lin Moyu murmured to himself with respect.
The great man at that time was already so strong that it was unimaginable. The place he chose happened to be the weakest point of the power crystal in the chaotic zone. Establishing a channel here is indeed much more convenient for practitioners.
But this road is obviously the fastest and most convenient one. If you don't pass through here, either the danger will increase greatly, or you will have to take a detour and waste a lot of time. After all, only Dao Zun can guarantee to cross the chaotic zone. Even if you are a high-level Tianzuan, you will be in danger if you are unlucky. If there is a magic weapon like Faiyanzu, it is another option. But in any case, it is not as convenient as coming to Jade Sword City. Here, you only need a few origin crystals to go back and forth directly by pressing the sword. Lin Moyu did not enter Jade Sword City immediately but waited far away. At this moment, the origin of Taiyin shone on the world, and the Taiyin talisman on his forehead was extremely bright. If he went there now, it would tell everyone that the son of Taiyin had arrived. If he is not a fool, Lin Moyu will not do this. It just so happens that Xiao San is still recovering, and its body has been reshaped almost completely, with only the last step left. The first spiritual flower ran out of power half a day ago, and Lin Moyu replaced it with another one. After more than half a day, the origin of Taiyin and Sun completed the alternation, and the Yin talisman also disappeared. It just so happens that Xiao San's body has been reshaped, and the last power of the spiritual flower turns into nectar, nourishing its body. Xiao San quickly grew in front of Lin Moyu, from a mouse the size of a palm to a big mouse half a meter long. Xiao San woke up and found that his body had been reshaped. He shouted excitedly,
Flesh body, my flesh body is back. Haha, I have a flesh body again.
It was a little too excited, and it instinctively raised its head and wanted to let out a long howl. But before it could shout, it was shot down by Pajun next to it, and it was directly beaten to a pulp, and the long howl was genuine. Xiao San turned his head and glared at him, with a fierce light in his eyes.
Which bastard dares to hit me, I will.
When he turned around and saw Lin Moyu, his momentum quickly declined, and he couldn't say the last words. Lin Moyu looked at it with a smile.
What do you want?
Xiao San laughed.
Nothing, just wanted to say, good fight.
After having a flesh body, Xiao San became more cunning, and Lin Moyu only had one comment on this. Not as cute as the soul. Xiao San quickly changed the subject.
Thank you, Master, for reshaping my flesh body. Master, don't worry, Xiao San will definitely be honest and obedient. If the Master tells Xiao San to go east, Xiao San will never dare to go west.
Lin Moyu said,
Stop talking nonsense, shrink down, restrain your breath, and introduce someone to you.
Xiao San complied and his body shrank immediately, becoming only the size of a palm. After becoming smaller, Xiao San was much more pleasing to the eye, looking 7 points less ferocious and 10 points more cute. It restrained its breath just like an ordinary pet mouse. It is hard to imagine that it is actually a sky-swallowing rat that can devour and refine the origin of spiritual veins and has reached the second level of Daozun. Lin Moyu called Xiaoye and Xiaowu out and said to Xiao San,
From now on, you will be their pet. When you have nothing to do, you will be responsible for protecting them and playing with them. If something happens to them, or they are unhappy, you should think about the consequences yourself.
Xiao San looked at Xiaoye and Xiaowu, and suddenly his eyes lit up, and he jumped to Xiaoye's side. There was suddenly a little mouse on her shoulder, and Xiaoye was not afraid at all but shouted happily.
What a cute little mouse.
Xiao Wu's eyes lit up.
Really? How can this little mouse be so cute? Let me play with it.
Xiao Wu's hands were as fast as lightning, and she immediately caught Xiao San in her hands. Xiao San instinctively wanted to resist, but when he thought of Lin Moyu's words, he immediately stopped. Lin Moyu said that if he dared to provoke these two little girls, the consequences would be terrible. These two people are not little girls, but ants, and they are the kind that you can't afford to provoke. Xiao Wu held Xiao San in her hands, put it in front of her eyes, and looked left and right.
Master, where did this little mouse come from?
Lin Moyu smiled.
It's an unexpected gain. This will be your pet in the future. Treat it well and don't bully it.
Xiao Wu nodded.
Don't worry, you and I will take good care of it.
Xiaoye also nodded.
Master, don't worry, my sister and I will treat it well.
2638, 2638. ## chapter 2638. Some things are too much or too little. Xiaoye and Xiaowu treated Xiao San as a pet rat without knowing its true nature. Xiao San was naturally unwilling, but under the coercion of Lin Moyu, he had to obediently play the role of a pet rat. Lin Moyu told it that this was its first mission, to be the bodyguard of the two. After all, it was a spirit beast of the Daozun realm, which was more than enough to protect the two. Of course, it was not usually needed. If there was any danger, Lin Moyu would deal with it himself, but it was there just in case. The sun continued to raise the temperature between heaven and earth, and the Feiyun boat flew towards Yujin City under the sunlight. Xiao San sent a message to Lin Moyu.
Master, you actually accepted a disciple with a natural jade soul. That's extremely rare.
Lin Moyu frowned.
How did you know?
Xiao San said,
Master, don't forget, I am a sky-swallowing rat. This is a talent in my blood. Others think that we, the sky-swallowing rats, can only sense and find origin spirit veins, but in fact, we can sense particularly pure origin power. The characteristic of the natural jade soul is purity. It is like a piece of white paper. As long as the distance is close enough, we can sense it.
Lin Moyu asked.
How close should it be?
Xiao San said,
About 1 meter.
Lin Moyu was relieved if it was so close. In fact, he didn't want too many people to know that Xiaoya was a natural jade soul, at least not before Xiaoya grew up. People's hearts are unpredictable. Many people don't like geniuses, envy geniuses, and even want to kill geniuses. If Xiaoya's identity as a natural jade soul is spread, in addition to people in the human race who want to kill her, there will also be people from other races who will try to assassinate her. The other races don't want top geniuses to appear in the human race. As long as there is no accident, the natural jade soul will definitely become a top Dao Zun in the future. The 5th realm of Dao Zun is the foundation, and the 6th and 7th realms are possible, and even the 8th realm may come. Once such a person goes to the battlefield, it will be a huge threat to the other races. The human race and the demon race do not get along and often have friction. There have been several super large wars between the two races, with casualties on both sides. In addition to the demon race, there are also the insect race, and the Buddha race will also keep an eye on the human race. The dragon race is a neutral race. They only have hatred for the insect race. They have a similar attitude towards the demon race and the human race, but they give special treatment to the owner of the dragon soul crystal. The one who likes peace the most and does not conflict with the foreign races is the Baichao Alliance. They keep to themselves, neither intervening in conflicts nor favoring any race. Unless you do something to them, they will also repay the favor. In short, Xiaoya's natural jade soul identity should be kept secret. Xiaowu is in a similar situation. Xiaowu became a heavenly venerable through the law of luck. Such a person is highly sought after by all major sects. Every sect hopes to get her, and if they can't, they want to destroy her to prevent her from being obtained by the opponent. After receiving Lin Moyu's warning, Xiao San immediately promised to protect the two women well. The Feiyun boat slowly landed when it was still 1,000 kilometers away from Yujin City. Within 1,000 kilometers outside Yujin City, there was a no-fly zone. The powerful force of Yujin itself formed an invisible force field, making it difficult for all people and magic weapons to fly. If you force yourself to fly, you will be attacked by Yujin. But it is not impossible to fly if you can get the permission of Yujin. It's just that few people have this privilege, and there are only a handful of people from ancient times to the present. After landing, several people changed to walking and went to Yujin City along the road. Yujin City is 10 kilometers away from Yujin and built around Yujin. The whole city is semicircular with a maximum diameter of more than 1,000 kilometers. Yujin faces the direction of the chaotic zone, which is empty, while the other side is very lively. From Yujin City, there is a passage every 100 kilometers which can go to the bottom of Yujin. There are 10 such passages. Every day, many people go to the location of Yujin, and then pass through Yujin, leave Yujin City, and go to Daojian City. After walking for a while, Lin Moyu and his companions soon arrived outside Yujin City. There was a towering city gate with 3 large characters.
Tianjin City.
Engraved on it, decorated with flying dragons and phoenixes. There is a signature under these 3 big characters, written by Gu Tongtian. Gu Tongtian, the creator of Hanshui Holy Land, is also the ancestor of the Gu family. These 3 characters make people feel a sense of oppression. Lin Moyu stopped to look, feeling the pressure, but a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth.
The words are good, but Gu Tongtian's realm should not have been high at that time, and this pressure is not as strong as Gu Hanyu's.
Lin Moyu has met several Dao Zuns, the strongest of which is naturally Tianlei Dao Ren, followed by Gu Hanyu. The feeling that Gu Hanyu brought at that time was much stronger than these three words. The three words carry the rhyme of Taoism, contain the power of the great Tao, and also the power of the origin. So no matter how many years old there are, the pressure of these three words will not be reduced by a bit. Lin Moyu judged that when Gu Tongtian wrote these three words, his realm should have been between the fourth and fifth realms of Dao Zun. There are also many people like Lin Moyu who stopped to watch these three big words. Some people groaned and kept retreating. Some people couldn't stand it and sat down on the ground on the spot. There are many people who come here, many of whom are not Tian Zuns, and it is normal that they can't bear these three words. Lin Moyu looked at Xiaoye and Xiaowu. Xiaowu just glanced at them and showed no interest. What sense of coercion, for her, is meaningless? Xiaowu prefers to look around, coming and going, and those who make a fool of themselves from time to time are more interesting than three words. On the contrary, Xiaoye looked at these three words and stopped for a long time. She is still in the super god realm and should not be able to resist the oppression brought by the words. Xiaoye can stand steadily and fight against it, which shows that Xiaoye's mind is extremely firm and pure. After a while, sweat began to ooze from Xiaoye's forehead, and after a while, her body started trembling slightly. Just when she was about to give up, a big hand gently pressed on her shoulder, and in an instant, all the pressure disappeared. The vigorous vitality was transmitted into her body, and after circulating through her body, Xiaoye immediately felt refreshed. A voice like the sound of nature came from her ears.
Some things are too much or too little.
Xiaoye nodded.
I understand.
Lin Moyu nodded slightly.
Let's go into the city.
Just as he was about to go in, Lin Moyu suddenly looked up, over the city wall and into the city. In the city, there were several high towers. These towers were thousands of meters high, and the tallest one was up to 10,000 meters. There is only one 10,000-meter high tower, located in the center of the city. From the tower, you can see the whole Yujin city. It feels very good to be on the top of the tower and have a view of the whole city. It feels like looking down on the world. But the tower is not something you can climb just because you want to. At this time, Lin Moyu looked at the 10,000-meter high tower. There was also a person on the tower looking at Lin Moyu. The two people's eyes met in the air, looking at each other. At this level, a distance of only a few hundred miles is no different from being right in front of you. Lin Moyu saw the old man in plain clothes on the tower. He looked ruddy and majestic between his eyebrows. He had obviously been in a high position for a long time. But Lin Moyu felt that under the ruddy light, there seemed to be extreme emptiness. The other party is extremely powerful and has a high level of realm, far superior to himself. But this feeling of emptiness is so real. After the two looked at each other for a few breaths, the old man turned around and walked back into the tower and disappeared.
He knows me and is waiting for me here on purpose. Who is he? His aura is strong and restrained. If my spiritual perception is not strong enough, I would only think he is an ordinary person.
He is not from the Hanshui Holy Land. The information is not like that.
Who is it?
2639, 2639.